Beautiful Friday night. Welcome, everyone. I'm Will Torrez, with me since Ron Rubio since day one. Ron, beautiful evening for some football going on against two big rivalries that also happen to be the 100th year that they've been playing each other.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better atmosphere than what we have right here at Warne Field here in Brawley. It's one of the longest rivalries in the nation, I believe. And just like all the other ones, or most of the ones, it was a collision course waiting to happen, and we're about to witness it right now tonight.
So for all the people out there, thank you for joining us. The atmosphere right here, just phenomenal. We've been here a couple hours. The whole atmosphere, everything here, it's like they had two concerts going on, and it's just the start to climax what's going to be the 79th Bell game. And Ron and I mean, it's awesome. Just the anticipation is here. Everything is here. There's people you haven't seen in a lot of places, a lot of Bell game memories here for a lot of people, a lot of fans. And thank you for watching on VSN. So as we get into the broadcast a little bit, Ron and I are going to break down the teams a little bit, explain a little bit what's been going on. So, Ron, first of all, let's talk about the Brawley Wildcats. Defending champ, Brawley Wildcats. They're the defending champs of the Bell.
Well, they're the defending champs of the Bell. They're returning from last year's big victory. Was a big victory for the Wildcats. And now, Spartans trying to get it back. But just as I said in the opening statements was, it just seems that every Bell game is not only just for the Bell, it's for the league title. And not only that, it's for position seeding. Right now, Central is seeded number what? Number three. Number three in
Central
Division 2.
In Division 2.
Brawley's number 7. So Brawley's got a little bit bigger hill to climb, and they need this victory. They really do need this victory. I mean, I'm not a big analytics guy. I know what's going on with that. But I do know that Brawley really needs this win. And I'm not sure what that gets them. Do they probably get a home,
So we got a special guest that's hopefully explains that for us.
Right.
So just because Brawley beat Central to number 3 position in Division 2 does not guarantee them a top 4 team. And what we mean by that is a top 4 team next week gets a bye in the CIF playoffs, as the pairings are going to be tomorrow.
Right.
So, but I can probably guarantee you that if Central does win, they will be a top 4 team. And what does that mean? They get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and then until they meet a number 1 or number 2 seed.
Somebody higher than them.
Yes.
Right.
And the other thing is that they get a bye next week, because this is going to be a physical game, and I believe the team will need a bye week. But I don't know. But the other good thing is, though, I do believe, let's just say Central did win, I do believe Brawley will still get a home game, though. So that's a plus on that. Sometimes it's not always bad, Ron, not having a bye.
No, it's not. Having a bye is a good thing. And
sometimes a bye is a good thing, and sometimes, it depends on injuries. It depends on a lot of things, Ron.
But right now, the main thing is to get through this night. We can jump ahead of ourselves and say what we can, but tonight is the night where the league title is going to be decided on this football field tonight. And the Wildcats right now, 3-0. Both teams are 3-0 in league. And they're having, like I said, they have to take care of what's at hand right now. As we said, the Wildcats are number 7 seed. They need to take Central down in order to have a favorable seed. But as you said, having a bye is a good thing. Having a bye could be a good thing, and sometimes it can be. It all depends on how you practice during your bye week.
Yes, and Ron, when we talk about the Wildcats, and you said it earlier right now, the bye, all that stuff doesn't even matter to them. What matters to them is tonight on the field.
Sure.
So when we start talking about the Wildcats, you cannot talk about the Wildcats without mentioning Ethan Gutierrez, the quarterback that's been the 4-year starter at the spell game, for the Brawley Wildcats.
Right, Wildcats entering this game at a 7-2 overall record, 3-0 in league, as we said. But on the offensive side, when you talk offense, you have to start with number 13, the 3-year starter, number 13, Ethan Gutierrez. Gutierrez leads the offense with his legs, his arm, and most important, the head on his shoulders. It's a very smart quarterback, and if you're Central, you have to contain. You're not going to stop him. You're not going to shut him down completely. You're going to have to kind of contain what he could do to you.
Yeah, and Ethan Gutierrez's targets are going to be Daniel Camilo, number 6. Number 17, of course, is always going to be Robert Platt. Robert Platt, all you got to do is throw that ball in that vicinity, and the chances are that he's going to come down with it. And then, of course, you got Micaiah Washington, the leading receiver for the Wildcats over there. So those are 3 very good receivers that the Wildcats put in front of Ethan Gutierrez to complete some of those passes.
And then you got to add in sophomore number 4, Brandon Torrez. Torrez is coming on. He could be the dark horse in tonight's game, the X factor, if you will. And Brandon Torrez, he gets in there. He's been a kid that can make plays. He can go in there along with Makai and Daniel Camilo, and you said Robert Platt. 4 great athletes, man, on the edges. Yeah. And, you know, when we get to Central, they're kind of reminiscent of each other because you have very athletic kids at the wide receiver position on both sides of the field.
I think Coach Self said it right when he said, look, we know that Central's bigger up front. They're just a big bunch of boys, especially at the center,
wow.
You know, with one of our favorite, Brennan Havens. But Brawley has always been known to be that quick defensive lineman, and they're just so quick in the middle. You know, they play that well, I still call it the 5-2 monster. But, you know, they get those down linemen that are always quick. They're not going to be big with those defensive line run, but they're going to shoot the gap. They're going to penetrate, and they're always going to be aggressive. That defensive line for the Wildcats, I've never seen a non-aggressive defensive line for the Wildcats.
Never. And, you know, when you speak tradition, Brawley is traditionally the smaller team on the field. You know, let's talk about it. We've played on teams that we were never, ever, hardly ever Brawley ever the bigger team. But what it comes down to is how do they execute, like you just said, on the offensive line versus defensive line versus that big offensive line of the Spartans. And traditionally, Spartans have a really good sized offensive line, it seems like.
Yes.
They always come through with an offensive line. So on the defensive side of things, you know, not to get away from the offense, but let's get back to the offense. The running game has got to really click for the Wildcats tonight. That way, you're more balanced, and that's the key, is to stay balanced. Is Gutierrez going to throw, or is he going to hand off to number 42, Tanner Carranza?
Well, you make a good point, Ron, and I'm going to add to that point right there. If they're going to do that, it has to be early, Ron. They have to set the tone.
Right.
Well, and that's for both teams also, Ron. Both of them have to zone because you know what? I believe, Ron, that it doesn't matter who you are because at the high school level right now, if you're setting the tone with the running game, you know, you got Sullivan on one side and you got Carranza on the other. I mean, to set that tone in the running game, you're going to be able to control a lot of things. You're going to be able to control the clock. You're going to control the time of possession, of course, and you're also going to control position on the field. So, yeah, Brawley Wildcats got their hands full. So when we come back from these messages, we're going to talk about those mighty Central Spartans after this. So Will Torres, Ron Rubio, we'll be right back after this.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy-saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Make COVID-19 boosters part of your summer plan. Children 5 years of age and older are now eligible for a COVID-19 Pfizer booster. The vaccine is safe, free, and effective. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700 to schedule your child's appointment or find a clinic near you. Have a safe summer. Get boosted. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700.
Back to Warne Field and back to the overview of what's going on tonight here on the. Let's talk about the Brawley defense, Will.
So when you talk about the Brawley defense, they're led by that outside linebacker, wild man, number 17, Robert Platt. And in the middle, you got consistent Mr. Ironman, Mr. Camilo, wearing, I believe he's number 31.
31,
Ron.
Robert Platt. Robert Platt's a junior, so is Chris Camilo, so that's pretty good for the future of the Wildcats. You know, and you could say that linebacking core could be the strong point of their defense, but they're solid all around, Will.
And one of the beautiful, Ron, can I interrupt you
Go
real
ahead,
quick?
go ahead. We got a special event happening right now.
We've got a very special event going on. We're on the, right now we have God Bless America playing, and our cameras will be focused up in the air. And this is going to be a beautiful sight. We plan on capturing it.
Wow.
And there they go. There it is. That is just a beautiful sight right there.
And here comes number 2, it looks like.
I think we're just going to let it go there. Oh, that is beautiful. And that's a centennial flag that they're carrying for the Brawley and the Central Spartans.
Now, I wonder where those guys are from. Like, are they, what are they? Are they actual active?
No, we have a program on them. It's just there's a group of them. In fact, the other set of them is at the World Series game right now, Ron.
Amazing. That's a great thing and a great touch added by Billy Brewer to top off what a special night that's going to be. This is something for it right here. And I do believe they're carrying the coin that's going to be tossed. I'm not too sure.
And there he is coming down. That's just.
What is this?
I don't. There's always that one guy, huh, Ron?
That is so amazing. There's 4 of them.
And for the number 4 carrying the American flag, here he comes. I just think this is, Simon Canales, Jesse Sanchez, Greg Smith, Billy Brewer. What an excellent job they did. Wow. Yeah, my hat's off to these guys and the performance that everybody else has put out there. So I just think that that's just a touch of class out there. Touch of class out there.
A great scene if you're a Wildcat or if you're a Spartan, but more important if you're an American. That's got to put a lump in your throat, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, wow. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but that was kind of special there,
No,
Ryan.
we had to do that. Well, back to the defensive breakdown of the Wildcats. Like you said, you talked about Platt on the outside.
Let me interrupt you.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me.
Wait. We got one more, and this guy's carrying the American flag.
This is an amazing shot right here. Live, folks. If you can't pick it up on the TV screen yet, but up above us.
We got the USA chant going right now.
And there it is. We got a shot on it. This actually looks like a moon landing or something. I really did. Great shot. Sarah's trying to get a great shot, and there it is, man. Coming down. It's an amazing sight. It's an amazing sight. It's just so cool.
This guy's the size of that flag, Ron. Oh, my goodness.
Touchdown.
I got to admit, that's just badass. That's just badass.
So now, as the pageantry continues on this centennial matchup between the Central Spartans and the Brawley Wildcats, couldn't ask for anything more. And you know, the pageantries here, man, you should see all the colors, the blue and gold, the white and blue going around. Just the atmosphere is something that, well, it's fitting for this kind of rivalry.
I wish we can get a shot pretty soon of all the standing room only. And this is a big stadium, Ron. Warne Field, I would say when it comes to standing room only, it's a little bit bigger than Cal Jones Field, only because they have the track in here, you know, and it just, you can fit actually more people because of the wideness. That's just beautiful. So, Ron, let's touch up a little bit more on that Brawley defense.
Well, as we said, before the Skydivers came, we were talking about the outside linebackers. And one, like you said, is Robert Platt. Robert Platt is a junior number 17. He's a junior outside linebacker, defensive end, if you want to call him that. And on the other side is number 18, Matthew Gutierrez. Matt Gutierrez is a sophomore, and he's the leading sack person for the Wildcats. So along with Mario Casas as a senior, Chris Camilo a junior, that fills out your linebacking core for the Wildcats.
So, Ron, both sides, I mean, trust us. We've been watching these games. We've done enough of their games, watched a lot of film on both of them, and no, we cannot guess what is going to be the outcome of this game.
Never.
But I'll tell you what I did have. I did have the opportunity to talk to both coaches, and earlier, a couple of hours ago, and they had a message, and I asked them a couple of questions, and this is what they had to say. So right now, we're going to hear from both coaches. Coach, a lot at stake on this Friday night. What are some of the things that, compared to last year, you're looking forward to accomplish this year, spell game?
Well, you know, obviously we're hoping to go ahead and flip things around. You know, last year's ball game didn't end the way as we expected, but we have a lot to look forward to for this upcoming year's ball game. Obviously, we have two well-prepared teams as we go into the game. You know, both of us are, you know, playing at a high level, and you know, it should be a great game. As you know, we have two teams they're playing for a lot at stake, you know, within the IBL title, and most importantly, you know, playing for the 79th annual bell game.
So, like you said, a lot of things are at stake right now. A win, I wouldn't say guarantees you a bye the first week, but there is a good possibility.
Well, correct. You're correct. Right at this time, you know, with the quality points between both programs, it can really go ahead and shake some things up, and hopefully for us, you know, playing Brawley, where they're ranked very high within the quality points of the CIF system. You know, for us at stake currently, it would be a first round bye, you know, going into the playoffs next week.
As it is with every game, who are some of the key players Central's going to have to depend on for this bell game?
Obviously, our defensive line has been playing tremendously. This past week, you know, our defensive line, they did a great job of just rushing the quarterback, and not only that, holding down the gaps. Obviously, our linebacker core, they're very fast to the ball, and our DBs played great. You know, but, you know, like everything else, it all starts up front on both sides of the ball, is O-line and D-line.
Speaking of the O-line, there's a lot of speed in the backfield with some of your running backs, and especially your wide receivers. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, you know, most of the front is just, you know, giving our quarterback some time to get the ball in our playmakers' hands. You know, that's the main objective of the offense, is get the ball in our playmakers' hands as quick as possible. And we're very fortunate we have those guys who can make a guy miss and, you know, turn a 5-yard hitch into a 60-yard, 80-yard gain.
Any last thoughts before you head into the game tonight?
No, we're very much looking forward to the challenge and opportunity. Again, you know, we understand what's at stake for our alumni, our school, and most of all for the city of El Centro, and that's bringing home the bell.
Coach, Bell Week game, what are your thoughts, how your team's feeling emotional right now?
I think the kids are very emotional about it. They're excited to get out there. They're excited for this bell game. Not only is it the 79th bell game, but it's also the 100th year that Brawley and Central have played football. And you know, a lot's on the line, and this is the way you want the bell game to be every year. You want Central and Brawley both to be vying for the league championship, and you know, I'm sure Central's just as excited as we are.
Also, Coach, you've been on both sides of it. now, right now, as you got ready to defend your title this year, you know, league championship, Bell game winner, what was harder, the 2 years ago or this year?
I think every year is hard because every year is a different year. Every year it's different kids. And, you know, when you're going for the Bell, every year is a different league championship. It's not the same thing every year. So to say it's easier, no, it's not any easier. It's not any harder. It's just the Bell game, and that's the way you gotta look at it.
Coach, on the defensive side, who are going to be some of the key players to watch out for?
I think you know, for us, it's going to be Chris Camilo. He's leading us in tackles. Matt Gutierrez has had a great season. Robert Platt, Alex Castillo, and then, you know, our defensive backs have played really well. Makai Washington, Daniel Camilo. Everybody's, you know, ready to play.
As a senior heavy team this year, you've got Ethan Gutierrez at quarterback, which after a couple of weeks, 4 years ago, has been your starting quarterback for almost 4 full years. Who are going to, besides Ethan, who are going to be some of the players on the offensive side that are going to have to play up to their standards?
Well, I think, you know, some of our defensive players go over to offense. So, you know, Makai's going to have to play up there. Daniel Camilo is going to have to step it up, and Robert Platt. And, you know, speaking about those guys, this has been a different 4 years for me. Usually, you know, we're junior, senior teams. And in the last 4 years, I've had to bring up 5 freshmen. You know, 1 quarterback, 6, 2 linebackers, and also, you know, a receiver. And I think the good thing about these guys is they've learned the tradition. They've all grown up together, and we, even as a coaching staff, you know, we've had these guys around for a long time, so we know their pluses and minuses.
You know, one of the big things that's going to be key for this Bell game is as we get ready to see the Wildcats, we'll go back to John Self. That just brings back memories.
Doesn't get old, man. Does not get old.
So, Ron, before the coin toss here, let's talk a little bit about the Central Spartans here. When you talk about the Central Spartans, you're going to talk about 2 individuals, but there's a guy that has not let up at one time. That's number 2, Charlie Sullivan, on both sides of the ball.
Now look, when you talk offense about the Wildcats, you had to go to Ethan Gutierrez. When you talk offense about the Central Spartans, you got to go directly to number 2, senior Charlie Sullivan. Sullivan's all over the place. We'll touch on him on defense, but on offense, he's a dynamite package. He can run. Everybody knows he can run. He's the IVL defending 100-meter champion. He's also a heck of a receiver coming out of the backfield. So you're going to have to pick your poison, man. If you're the Wildcats, you have to contain Charlie Sullivan.
That's true. And we'll get back to that right now. We're going to get ready for the coin toss right here. Mr. John Seaman is going to be white hatting today.
Okay, listen up. Congratulations and welcome to the 79th annual Bell. Not only that, Brawley and Central have played football, okay? So let's have fun, make your family proud of you, make your school proud, and let's have a good, clean football game, okay? We're gonna have point time. Back. Is tail. You've traveled the furthest. What are you going to call? Heads. Brawley, you won the toss.
And as we see, Brawley has run the toss.
What do you want to do?
Central,
put your backs right there. Brawley, put your back right here.
And Central has won the toss, and they elected to refer. And as we speak about referees, we talk about John Seaman, head referee, 28 seasons officiating football. Mr. Alan Phillips will be at umpire, 37th season officiating football. Sean McLaughlin will be on the line judge, 24th season. Nathan Beacons, head linesman, 13th year. And Mr. Reverend Jesse Jackson will be the back judge for his 27th year of officiating. Ron, very good crew we have for the officiating tonight.
Solid officiating crew, and you know what? That's what you want for this type of ball game.
So we're going to touch base a little bit more on the offense now, led by the guys taking some hits, taking some runs early in his career, but Damon Rodriguez now is the man handling the ball at every play just about, except when they go in that famous Wildcat formation ran by the Central Spartans, which we still haven't found the name what they call it. Like we said earlier, I don't think they call it Wildcat formation. But talk about some weapons on the offensive side for them, Ron.
Well, when you talk Damian Rodriguez at QB, you have Charlie Sullivan at the running back. The wide receiver core is solid. And I'm going to go down the line. They have one freshman. That's number 5, Emiliano Morales. Number 3, sophomore, Sergio Bubba Garcia. Number 9, Artie Estrada, a junior. And number 4, rounding it off, will be a senior, Gavin Marini, number 14. Solid wide receiving core as we're getting ready to wind up with Midas Rodriguez of the Spartans, ready to kick it off. And before we go on, well, we'll talk about the offensive line of the Central Spartans, who's led by Brennan Havens, number 73, a senior, but set to kick off right now, ready to rock and roll, ready to go. This is what we're talking about. Is the game going to live up to the hype that we're seeing? The fans think it is. If you're not here watching it out there on VSN, thank you very much for being here, and it's about to happen. Right now, it's a little pooch. Was that intended or not? And it's going to bounce out at the 38-yard line of the Wildcats. So I'm not too sure if that was an intentional kick, Will.
Well, they tried that. We've seen that against Imperial last week, Ron, and it looks like John Self will take the ball on about the 39-yard line to start the game. And that's not even good field position. That's great field position right there.
Where they mark it off at the 39?
39, the ball went out of bounds, yes.
So great field position for the Wildcats, as we said. The offensive line, let's do the work of the guys that do the dirty work for the Wildcats. That's going to be at center, number 52, senior Brian Porras. Wow, and they're going to have a penalty? And also, wait a minute. So
Brawley has elected to take the 5-yard penalty on top of where the spot of the out of bounds.
Wow, I didn't know you could do that on a kickoff.
So they took...
They're going to add it on?
Okay, so it went out of bounds, which is the penalty.
Is that
and then they got the 5 yards on top of it, which put the ball at the 40-yard line. Okay, so it's either re-kick or take the ball where it went out of bounds and then the 5 yards. Yeah, which is a good deal.
Wow. Giving us time right now to introduce the Brawley offensive line starting center. Brian Porras, number 52. At one of the tackles, you have Ronnie Rosales, number 61. The other tackles, Julius Diaz, 55. Isaiah Gomez, 67. And David Martinez, 79. Here we go. That looks like Moreno to the left side. Nothing doing.
And guess
brought
who that
down
is?
by Jared Martin along with number 53 of the Spartans.
We have not grown tired of saying that name, number 22, number Martin. He's been in the backfield so many times. It's just that's one of the guys you're gonna have to watch out for.
Israel Roscoe, number 53, on the tackle as well. And here come the Wildcats with the 2nd down and 9. Ball is at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Split backs for the Wildcats. 2 receivers to the right. The give off to the right side is Carranza. Carranza crosses into Spartan territory to the 48-yard line. Quick hitter out the right side, Will.
Going to be short for the 2nd down, but that's Charlie Sullivan coming across. And we talked about that earlier in the game, Ron, to set the tone in that running game.
Well, let's see if they can. That's 2 runs, a total of 8 yards. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2. And here's a big 3rd down play right now. And this is what you want to do the first series. Of course, on defense, you want a 3-and-out. Wildcats, of course, want a 1st down. Here's a quick question. Is it 4-down territory?
I don't know, Ron. That's a good question.
Easy for us to say. Here we go. Split backs to give us to Carranza. No, he splits it out. That's a fumble. Is that a fumble, Will Torrez? backwards pass.
Well, I'm going to look at the mechanics of the referees, but it looks like they're going to call.
It's a live ball,
they're
right?
going to call a live ball, and they're going to call him dead right there. So,
well, it looked like he pulled from Carranza a pure RPO. With that being said, loss of yardage all the way back inside Wildcat territory to the 47-yard line.
Ron, did it look like
he faked it? It's a total RPO. He was going to give the dive, maybe keep it, and also throw it. So he had the run-pass option. There it is.
Yeah, and it just looked like he had a little bit of pressure coming in.
He had a lot of pressure. Set to kick is Carranza. He's standing at his 33-yard line. I think you have Bubba Garcia. I'm not too sure. I can't read his number. I know it's Artie Estrada, number 9. It takes a bounce. It takes a Brawley bounce. Bounces all the way to the 15-yard line. That's where the Spartans will take over. It's on, man. It is on tonight.
Yeah, this is not exactly what the Wildcats wanted to do, but it is what the Spartans wanted to do on the defensive side.
Hey, you got your 3 and out, and that's what you want to do. Can the Wildcats return the favor? We'll have to wait and see. Central Spartans are going to line up with some big boys on top. You have Brennan Havens, number 73 at center. You have Nicholas Jimenez, number 68 at guard. You also have Eli Osuna, number 50 at guard. Your tackles are Anthony Ramirez, number 79, and Jonah Huerta, 76. So here we go. It's time to go for the Spartans. Damian Rodriguez, double receivers on both sides. You have motion. Motion by, is that 15? Did he change numbers again? Morales, give it to Sullivan off the left side, and Sullivan, a good gain. We're going to give him 5 yards up to the 20-yard line.
Tackle there was by number 54 of the Wildcats, William Enders. Back from, what was it, Ron?
Brody Enders had like a leg injury, I believe. They sat him down against the Bulldogs, and now he's ready to go, man. That's a senior Brody Enders. He's the only senior on that defensive line. He's lined up with Robert Duarte, number 72, and number, let me see, my other boy here is, that's Alex Castillo, number 66. So here we go. Motion by Morales. That's a short motion. That gave us to Sullivan up the middle. Sullivan is going to fall forward maybe for 2 yards. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3, similar to Brawley's 3rd and 3.
Mario Gossett is making that tackle. I'm not going to say that Sullivan had some room, but Mario Gossett has made a beautiful tackle coming in there from number 32 to make that tackle. And now, Ron, you look at the Central Spartans right now, and they're trying to figure out these Wildcats. You know, still it's 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4, and it's a long 4 at that.
Well, I really like this right here.
Oh, Ron?
We're looking at a monitor instead of looking down on the field, so we're going to be sharp on the numbers tonight. So here we go. 3rd down, the give. Sullivan is going to find his way, and he looks like he's going to have the 1st down. So 1st down for the Spartans, now at their own 25-yard line.
You had Mario Casares in there again, and number 17, Robert Platt. But it wasn't until Sullivan was able to get that 1st down. And I'm surprised that they're going right at Platt.
No, well, you know what? Sometimes, it's better to go at a guy that's like that. The term is apex, meaning he'll eat anything. He's on top of the food chain. He can chase you down. Go at him. So let's see. Trips to the right. Will it be a pass for the Spartans? It sure is. He throws it out to Sullivan, and it's a little bit behind, and Sullivan able to adjust for a short 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9 for the Spartans.
Robert Duarte was able to apply pressure on Rodriguez in the backfield, making him not to make that a perfect pass on him. But, that's what they got to do. They got to apply pressure on the quarterback. If not, he's going to have a field day out there.
And what a catch by Sullivan.
Yes.
And even if it's a 2-yard gain, a 2-yard reception, that's one of the best 2-yard receptions I've ever seen. So here we go. 2nd down and 8 for the Spartans. The ball is at the 28-yard line. Wide sides to the left for Rodriguez. That's trips to the left. And he's rolling out to his left. He's looking. He shoots it down the side. Overthrows. Overthrows.
Now, Ron, he overthrew that.
Overthrew Estrada, and Mekhi Washington should have had the interception. Did not have it.
Let's talk about that, Ron. You're going to need those type of plays in this type of game.
You don't want to go back. I should have had it.
No. That should have been an interception. The Wildcats notes it, the coaching staff, because look, these 2 games, it might be one on those type of plays.
One or two plays. So you make plays when you have to make plays, guys. That's how football is. The big games, those who execute usually win and eliminate your mistakes. They usually win. Here we go. 3rd down and a long 7. Trips to the left. Rodriguez again on his 3rd consecutive pass. He's being rushed. He throws a little high. and it's going to be intercepted. No. Aiden Torrez. So Wildcats, 2 golden opportunities, laying it on the ground.
Well, I'm going to have to give credit to
That was
Arturo
Torrez on the
Estrada.
reception.
Yeah, because he
became the defensive back on that.
He became the defensive player on that play. Aiden Torrez had the ball in his hands, and then he had to go on the defensive side and take it away from him. So, Ron, that's twice already right there. So the Wildcats have not taken advantage of the opportunities that have been thrown their way.
Exactly. So the fortunate thing for the Wildcats, they have the Spartans in a 4th down punting situation. The Spartans were able to generate 1 first down. We now have deep to receive, standing at his 35-yard line is Daniel Camilo. The kick by Rodriguez, little short, and Camilo will take it at his 32. He finds his way to the 35. He's going to get hit. And the first one on there looks like number 40, man. You know who number 40 is?
Yeah, we sure do,
Jacob
man.
De La Rosa. De La Rosa on special teams came and gave Camilo a pop before he could get running.
Yeah, and that's De La Rosa right there. He's just playing with that motor that just runs,
Boom.
man. So, now, Ron, still very decent field position for these Wildcats.
35-yard line. The last one was at the 38, 6:59 as they start, 6:59 remaining in the first quarter. So the Spartans, if you're the Spartans, you're kind of saying, man, we were lucky to get out of there without an interception. Wildcats now with doubles on both sides to give us to Carranza. Carranza off the right side. Carranza is going to get a first down. He crosses and he will be right at the 1st-yard marker, which is the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Man, this is going to happen. This is going on.
Yeah, so the person we thought they were going to have to worry about, which they are, is Ethan Gutierrez. But look, you got Carranza making the difference right there. Now, when we see Moreno, Ronnie?
Moreno was in there already, and look at there, a split back set. You have 2, that's number 23. That is sophomore Matthew Moreno, along with, that's Gutierrez. Single back that gave us to Carranza off to the left. Carranza trying to get a yard. He will get a yard. A host of tacklers by the Spartans.
Leading that tackle was, of course, number 2, Charlie Sullivan. And that's what Charlie Sullivan has to do. He has to be that playmaker on the defensive side. He goes, look, man, I'm the guy on the defensive side. Him, Skyler Cook, you got Lizaraza at the linebacker position, but they got to step it up, Ron. They got to go.
You have a very tough defensive line. Mike Fisher, also number 56, was on that tackle. De La Rosa, number 40, is also your other defensive tackle. We've already spoken about Jared Martin, number 22. Doubles on both sides. It is a 2nd down and 9. Gutierrez looking with plenty of time. Shoots it out to the left. High pass caught by Platt. Platt is going to catch his way and maybe short by a yard of a first down. Hey, that was that pass right there was a very long pass.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to need now. 3rd and short. Now, I have not seen Carranza get negative yards now.
Not yet. He's gained maybe 1 yard, and that's a plus. And anything negative is not good in football. So here we go. 3rd down and 1. The ball is at the 46-yard line
of the Central Spartans here.
Yes, sir, in Spartan territory. 2nd time the Wildcats have been there on both possessions. What can they do once they're in here? Tight set by the Wildcats. Carranza, lone back.
Last thing they need is Central jumping off.
They'll give it to Carranza off the left, and a great play.
Look, we talked about him.
And that was Sullivan. Sullivan came out like a cannonball out of a cannon.
Ron, listen. You know that they hadn't gotten no negative yards using Carranza. Sullivan, only one guy in that backfield. Who do you think was going to get the ball?
Yeah. So there's only one guy. You key him, and it looks like the Wildcats will play field position.
Yeah, it's too early, right? But check it out, Ron. With Sullivan knowing he's going to get the ball, they're not going to get it on me. That's just a great play, great athlete, great coaching, great everything on that play to stop the Wildcats.
So Carranza standing at his 40-yard line. We're going to say that's Artie Estrada standing at his 10. Good snap. Great punt by Carranza. That's going to take a bounce. Will it go? And Estrada going to fill it inside the 5. He's going to be cut back at the 10. He found a little bit of room, and he's going to be brought down by, that's number 18, sophomore Matthew Gutierrez.
So it's they're setting the tone, and whether it's special teams, Ron, great punt by Carranza. We've talked about him earlier in the season, how he's a difference maker, that he's actually another weapon on the offense, on the same side as the offense there when it comes to the punting game.
Well, you know, a decision by Coach Self, John Self, was to let's pin him back. We didn't get the first down. It worked out for the Wildcats.
No,
They're now
call.
at the 11-yard line, 1st and 10, 3:56 remaining in the first quarter. Second possession of the game for the Spartans. Let's see how this story unfolds right now. It's been everything we've talked about. Solid defense, pretty good running game on both sides of the ball right now. 1st and 10 for Damian Rodriguez and the Spartans.
3:56 to go in the first quarter. Oh.
And nothing doing.
Yeah.
That is Vizcaella, I believe.
That is
number 35. I don't know who was on the tackle.
23, Matthew Moreno making his presence. A sophomore comes in there and showing him, hey, listen, I'm one that you guys are going to be talking about for the next 2-3 years.
Nico Viesca, number 35, in for Sullivan. And that's a thing you have to be concerning yourself. Watch what these two-way players are doing. You exert a lot of energy, man, on defense. Sometimes you need that breather on offense.
And that sets them back 3-4 yards, right, Ron? Yeah.
It looks like Zarian Robinson is now back, is the back with Rodriguez. Rodriguez is going to throw out of his end zone. He's looking. He has time. He shoots it long, and that is incomplete.
Ron.
And another chance. Number 12 had a chance for a pick, and that's,
Listen, let's just call it how it is.
You got to
Ron,
make those plays.
You got to make those plays. Ron, Central Spartan is not going to keep letting them have those opportunities.
What's going to happen is they're going to cash in on him pretty soon.
Yeah.
And you're going to wish you'd have had to come up with one of those interceptions at one point in time. However, now it is now a 3rd down and 13. Sullivan not in. Yes, he is. Rodriguez rolls to his left. Rodriguez looking. He shoots it down. He's looking for Artie Estrada, and it's picked off.
And it is picked off. Will he be in
Picked off by
bounds?
Makai Washington. Makai Washington intended for Artie Estrada. And would you say that's kind of like a punt?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, 2 things happen on that. That's shorter than the punt and momentum, Ron.
Yeah, there you go. Big play.
Big Brawley, first down.
I don't know what the penalty was. But now Makai Washington, who had a chance and makes amends, has the Wildcats now for their 3rd possession for the 3rd time in this quarter inside Spartan territory. 3:04 remaining. Doubles on both sides. The wide side of the field is to the left of Gutierrez. Setback is Carranza. Gutierrez looks. Gutierrez shoots. It's Makai Washington. Complete to the 10-yard line.
Are they going to give it to him, Ron?
They gave it to him, man. He was inside.
Covering for them was Alex Trejo, and I couldn't see it. There were some fans in the way. They gave it to him, Ron. And
there's a lot of personnel on the sideline of the Wildcats. There's a lot of civilians on the sideline for the Wildcats. So with 2:52 remaining, the ball is right at the 10, so it's a 1st and goal at the 10. And a big play right after the good call by OC Ray Van Diver. 2:41 remaining.
got to give credit to that line for giving Ethan
they're
Gutierrez.
giving a lot of time. They're giving him a lot of time. As I said, Ronnie Rosales, Isaiah Gomez, Brian Porras. You have Julius Diaz, and the give is to Carranza. Carranza, maybe nothing on that. Tackle by Fisher, number 56, along with De La Rosa, number 40.
In there to make sure to cap him off was there, of course, Martin again. Now, Ron, it's gonna take De La Rosa and it's gonna take Michael Fisher to stop that run up the middle. Those guys are gonna have to start stepping it up. You got Carranza getting in there with 2-3 yards, so they've stopped Carranza one time on that 3rd and short, Ron.
Yeah, and now the Wildcats changing personnel in. 1:51 remaining. The clock is ticking. 2nd down from the 9.5-yard line. Whiteside to the right. The give is to Carranza to the right side. Carranza is in. So the Wildcats strike blood first with 1:40 remaining. A 10-yard, 9-yard pop for the Wildcats.
This touchdown brought to you by Dom Real Estate as the Wildcats take the lead 6-0 with the PAT coming up next.
You got to credit that offensive lineup: Julius Diaz, Ronnie Rosales, Brian Porras, Isaiah Gomez, David Martinez. These are the kids, along with the Central offensive line. You got to give credit to his offensive line. They gave him holes. They took it. Set to kick is Nathan Urbano, number 37. The kick is up, and it is right down the pipe, man. 140 remaining. We have the Brawley Wildcats 7, Central Spartans 0.
And as we get a little bit of break with 140 to go, still left in the first quarter, when we go out and vote next week, let's make sure that we get all the information we need and vote on Measure B, the Friends of IVC. Go out there and vote yes on Measure B, sponsored by Friends of IVC Committee, FPPC number 1453508. We would also like to welcome one of our new corporate sponsors. Ron, I'm just a little excited here, man.
Yeah, go for it. No, it happens.
I mean, the atmosphere out here, excuse us, man. We'd like to thank our new corporate sponsor with Imperial County Public Health. Children 5 years and older now eligible for COVID-19 boosters. Vaccines are safe, free, and effective. Visit myturn.cal.gov or call 442-265-6700 as we get ready to take a look at them Wildcats with the score 7-0, 140 to go in the fourth quarter. They will be kicking from the east to the west end zone.
So thanks to the turnover, interception by Makai Washington, which put the ball at their Spartan 40-yard line. The Wildcats drive it in. Set to kick, as we said, is Urbano deep to receive. I'm not too sure what number that is back there. The short kick and retrieve. Was that a pooch? I missed it.
I don't know, but when he ran down the sidelines in there to make the tackle for the Brawley Wildcats was number 33, but not till after some good. That's Abraham Sabolis there, Ron.
Now I'm having a little bit of trouble. Is Bubba Garcia number 13 tonight, or is he number 3? They did the same thing last week. Last week, Morales was 15 the week before. Now he was 5 versus Imperial. And I'm going to say number 13 is Bubba Garcia.
No,
Correct me if I'm wrong, people from Central, please.
No, I saw the inside of his face mask right now on the screen I have. And
Charlie Sullivan off the left side. Charlie Sullivan is gone. See you later. No one's going to catch him. Bam, fireworks for the Spartans. Touchdown, Charlie Sullivan. Hey, you want lightning? It just struck for the Spartans.
Yeah, that just goes to show you.
There it goes.
We talked about the man on the Central sidelines with those brand new uniforms showing the patch of Centennial that, look, they're not going to stop Charlie Sullivan. They're going to try to contain him those first 2 series, but that is the Charlie Sullivan that the Central Spartans depend on right there.
Nobody's going to catch that kid. If he gets a 5-yard lead on you, good luck. So touchdown. That only took, Brawley scored with 140 remaining. It's 125 remaining. 15 seconds later, it's 7-6. A hold?
No, it was a personal foul.
Well, touch. We didn't get to him.
So the penalty was a personal foul, but it will be assessed on the kickoff. And we apologize. I didn't see the flag.
Nor did I. I was watching.
To go to John to see what the call was. Okay, it does want to be a.
It will be on the, So personal fouls, Will, if a player gets one, can he keep getting them, or is there a rule?
Yeah, the personal fouls, I'm not going to say it's okay, but you won't get expelled. The one you get expelled for is unsportsmanlike conduct. And I just got a text from a good friend, Oscar Garcia. Bubba Garcia is number 13, just to confirm.
Cool. So there we go. We got that corrected. Well, as we were speaking, Miles Rodriguez ties the ball game up after Charlie Sullivan goes, what? Maybe 55 yards? I wasn't even sure of where it is. So 125 remaining. We have the Brawley Wildcats 7, Central Spartans 7.
So let's visit Big Chris at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro for one type of a haircut. And as we get ready to go, Ron, we got ourselves a great ball game with the score 7-7 right now.
It started out a little bit slow, but, man, we're tied up 7-7 as the first quarter is winding down. It's been pretty fast. So the Wildcats now find themselves. Spartans will now kick from the 25-yard line thanks to that personal foul. We're not too sure who it was on, but they will kick from their 25-yard line, and set to kick will be number 24, Cesar Becerra. Becerra is a senior, and we've seen Becerra kick before. Wildcats deep to receive. You have standing at the 20-yard line is Daniel Camilo. And I believe that's Damian Abarca, number 2. Will Becerra get him to there? We have a special feature on tonight's game. And up with me now is Jalen Fong. Jalen, nice to have you. So here we go. Becerra with the kick. It's a short one. It's going to be bouncing to Abarca. Abarca fields it at his 26. He's at the 30. Finds a, maybe get 7 yards on the play. Jalen, thoughts on so far, what you've seen so far in this spectacular first quarter?
Well, Ron, what's the atmosphere like up here in the booth? Because down on the field, it is electric on both sidelines and in the stands. You can barely hear yourself down on the field.
I honestly wish I was down there crowd surfing. It's such an amazing feature. You could feel the vibes up here. So both teams have what they want. Jalen, you have a 7-7 tie. The Spartans were able to answer the Wildcats with a one-play drive. So here we go. Now the Wildcats, will they respond after that big touchdown by Sullivan? Wildcats at the 31-yard line. That's their 31-yard line. Trips to the right. Carranza single back. Sullivan showing a blitz. We're going to get illegal procedure by the Wildcats. So not a very good start to this drive.
No, and just coming off of that big drive where you had that huge reception by Mekhi Washington coming off the interception, that's not the way you want to start this drive off, especially after that one-play hitter that Charlie Sullivan scored on that 60-yard rush.
So the Wildcats backed up another 5.
Blue, Wally, false start.
John Seaman repeating who the false start was on, number 79. The ball's now at the 26, 1st and 15. So the Wildcats and Spartans exchanging penalties. They must eliminate that if they're going to win this ball game. Either side, trips to the right, single back is Carranza. Wide side to the right for Ethan Gutierrez. The give is to Carranza off the right side. Tackled by number 2, Sullivan, and Gutierrez got a pop after that little read there, Jalen.
Yeah, they got to be a little more decisive on whether or not who's going to be carrying that ball, because the last thing you need to do is force a turnover and then give the Central tremendous field position, because they're hot on offense right now.
They're hot after that one big play by the Spartans. A lot of hustle on that field for the Spartans. As I said, we were talking about that good defensive line head by Mike Fisher, De La Rosa, Jared Martin, and Elijah Acevedo. Pretty young defensive line, I'm going to tell you. They have one senior, that being De La Rosa. Gutierrez looks to throw. He shoots it down and almost picked off by Skylar Cook, intended for Robert Platt. So a pretty good future for the Spartans. They have 3 sophomores, Jalen. They have 4 juniors and 4 seniors. Kind of a balance on classes there.
Yeah, they're very balanced defensively. And, with that much experience with the upperclassmen and the seniors on this group, they've kind of meshed together all season long, and it's culminated in a terrific defense that we see here tonight.
That's a great point, and that's what they do. That's what you have to do. As we said, the Spartans are 5-3. Their lone game, they had a no contest game versus Old Ty Ranch, so now we have a 3rd down and 12 for the Wildcats. Looks like we're going to have a timeout by the Wildcats. That's their first one of the game. With that timeout, we have the El Central Police Department. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. El Central Police Department is proud to honor and support all those who have been impacted by breast cancer. As I said last week, my mother was also impacted by breast cancer. She is a survivor. RDO Equipment Company, with support, solutions, and expert equipment, possibilities than any other dealer in the market. Whether you are a seasoned pro in precision ag or just getting started, RDO Equipment Company is the partner you need for your success in the field. Back to action, Jalen. So here we go. We have a big 3rd down.
Ron, if you're Coach John Self on the sideline, what did you tell, Ethan Gutierrez, your quarterback, during that timeout?
Right now, don't force anything. If it's not there, just take what you could give. You know, you don't have a running play that's 3rd and 13 that's going to get you. So most likely, and the good thing for Central, you know it's a passing down. He has trips to his left. Let's see what happens. Gutierrez Gutierrez shoots it to the single receiver side, Makai Washington, and I believe it's incomplete, out of bounds. Double coverage over there by, I believe that's number 8. That is Nehemiah Perez was over there defending well. Great play, Jalen.
Yeah, and you know, throwing in a double coverage, but Makai Washington still able to reel it in just a little bit on the outside, and unfortunately it's an incomplete 4th down for the Wildcats.
So out there you had number 31 out there on helping out with the coverage. I don't have the number for number 31, but now we have a 4th down and set to kick now. Standing at his 15 is Tanner Carranza. So now this field position kind of shifts, Jalen. And a foot off his right side of his foot, will it get a Brawley bounce? No, it doesn't. Well, it bounces into Spartan territory. So the Spartans will take over at their 43-yard line.
And now back onto the field, Charlie Sullivan and the Central offense. Let's see, they were around the 40-yard line the last time they were out with that one-play touchdown.
Big 60-yard run. So now, hey, favorable field position. I'm not too sure what happened on the Brawley kickoff, but right now the punting game for Tanner Carranza has the Spartans at their 43. Great field position, Jalen. That's a great field position to start. Trips to the left. The wide side will be to the right for Rodriguez. Single receiver to the right is the sophomore Sergio Bubba Garcia. Single back is Sullivan. 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Rodriguez now looks to throw. He's being pressured. He's going to be hit by Brody Enders. Brody Enders along with number 66. That is Castillo. That is number 66. Alex Castillo, the sophomore. Pressure was put on by the defensive line, Jalen.
And you know that long drawback that Rodriguez has, finally the Brawley front was able to get to him for that sack as the first quarter winds down.
Hey, that's going to end the first quarter. And so with that being said, the Brawley Wildcats 7, Central Spartans 7.
Will Torrez here at the end of the first quarter at Warne Field, where the Brawley Wildcats are taking on the Central Spartans with the score 7-7. With me on my right here is Simon Canales, superintendent of Brawley Union High School and also president of the CIF Southern Section CIF Commissioner's Office. Simon, what a game we have here today.
Phenomenal game, tremendous atmosphere. I just want to thank Billy Brewer and all the work that he's put in to create an atmosphere for like tonight.
Well, to tell you the truth, when you talk about Billy Brewer, it was almost like we had the backbone because this guy's been busy. He was busy at the start of the year, but Billy Brewer, outstanding job setting everything up here.
We have a great staff, starting from Simon, Jesse, our principal. We have the CIF commissioners here. It's just a great atmosphere, but believe me, it's not one person that does all this.
Special thanks to them.
Now, and I just want to say congratulations, Simon. You as a former coach, you know what it's like out here, the atmosphere. I mean, standing room only right now. What are your thoughts right now? I know it's only first quarter, but the atmosphere, Simon.
Oh, it's tremendous atmosphere. It's going to be a grind, and we're looking for a great show, right?
Billy, 7-7 right now. That's just what we expected out of this game of the 79th Bell game.
You got two great teams going at it. They're playing hard. They know each other. It's kind of the same kids that we played last year, and it's going to be a great one all the way to the finish.
Well, guys, thank you very much. So back upstairs to Ron.
Thank you very much, Wilfred. Thank you, Mr. Simon Canales and Billy Brewer. So here we go. Second down and 15 for the Spartans. And here we go. A quick screen pass. Complete to Garcia on the flanker screen inside Wildcat territory and good enough for a first down. Great execution on that play, Jalen.
Yeah, you see the offensive lineman already veering off to the right. You can already see that bubble pass coming. And just, blockers in front, nothing but open space for the central receiver.
And it looked like the Wildcats, they gave pressure. They gave some outside pressure with their outside linebackers. So that kind of a blitz, they threw the ball where the defender vacated for that blitz. So that's a 1st and 10 inside Wildcat territory. Hey, man, you got to watch this momentum of the Spartans. This is what they want to do. They want to go fast. So heavy set now, set for Sullivan to the right, nothing doing. You have Camilo on the tackle, along with number 18, Matthew Gutierrez, and number 24, Gilbert Tweedy Corrales. for no gain, maybe a half a yard, 2nd down and 10.
And, you know, both teams, you know, coming out of the first quarter, they realize that momentum needs to be somewhere down the middle. After Brawley had the interception and big touchdown, Central coming back with the one-play touchdown. So now the game is still in the balance. You don't want momentum to go one way or the other.
That's a great point, and that's a very well said, Jalen. So here we go. Trip to the left. The wide side is to the left. You have motion by Marini. That's a yo-yo motion. He gives to Sullivan up the middle. Sullivan. And that's a patent play of the Spartans offense. That motion, they'll lead you up. And that's be a gain of maybe, let's give them 5 yards on the play. The yardstick says 3rd down. Is it 3rd? Yeah, it is 3rd down. I'm sorry. So another 3rd down play, 3rd down and 6 for the Spartans. The ball is inside the Wildcat territory. Let's say the 43-yard line. 3rd down and 3. Wide side 4. Rodriguez will be to his left where he has 3 receivers. They call that trips. Rodriguez, look, he has time. Is it a screen? They let him in. It's a jailbreak. He's going to throw that away. Pressure by Robert Duarte, by Castillo, by Brody Enders. So they had pressure, but it seemed like they were setting up a screen the way they let those guys in. Maybe they weren't. However, that sets up a punting situation for the Spartans.
You know, Brawley wasn't fooled on that play. They held their ground and forcing ill-advised pass by Rodriguez, forcing a 4th down.
So at 9:57 remaining, the Spartans will line up for a punt. Will they punt? You have Midas Rodriguez standing at his own 45. You have Daniel Camilo standing at his 10. The up back will be number 24, Gilbert Tweedy Corrales. The punt by Rodriguez. It's a little high. Poocher maybe. And it does take a Spartan bounce, but guess what? Just to the 26-yard line of the Wildcats. So the Wildcats dodge a bullet after that great play. Great screen play to Bubba Garcia.
So,
good interview, Will. Man.
Well, I'll tell you
catch
the
your
truth.
breath, and then you can talk.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch my breath here. No, it's good to see those type of things. It's good to see those type of things, Ron, when you have people like Billy Brewer, Simon Canales, and just to put on a great show for everybody. And that's, you know, the Central Spartans and the Wildcats. But you're right, I do need to catch my breath.
So the Wildcats now have, with 9:47 remaining, their ball is at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Doubles on both sides. The right side is to the right of Gutierrez. You have Tanner Carranza is the single back. Gutierrez, look, he's being pressured. He steps up. He's going to take off, and he's not going to go anywhere. Hit hard and maybe dinged up on the play is number 53. That is number 53. That is Israel Rascon. And Rascon, a senior who's been around for a while, comes in with a great stop. When you stop beating Gutierrez to a 0-yard gain, you've done something really good. So now it's 2nd down and 10 with 9:20 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Well, Ron, everybody's starting to settle in their position. The anxiety's coming out, but they're starting to level out up here. As we have a special guest up here, you know, you can't ever go wrong when you got the man himself, Mr. Coach Cato up here. Whoa!
Oh no! So it looked like a fake dive with the runner down.
No,
they're gonna say dead ball.
Yeah, they're gonna say that he was down before the ball got loose, Ron.
So a fake dive to Carranza. It was kept by Gutierrez. Fumbles back to the 20-yard line. Brawley retains possession for a 3rd down, and
they just gotta, you know, Wildcats can't put themselves in those type of positions. Now, that's our second, unless I missed one, Ron, that's that second miscue at the quarterback position when in, you know, indecisive decisions.
I didn't see who put the pressure on, but it was great pressure great penetration by that defensive line of the Spartans. So here we go, a big 3rd down. It says 25 yards. I don't believe it's 25 yards.
No, it looks to be more like 15.
Gutierrez again set to throw. Pressure put on. And he's just going to toss that intended for Porter. But let me tell you, where the pressure came from, the outside kids. You had your defensive ends out there.
Well, part of it, Ron, was De La Rosa, Mike Fisher, applying the pressure in the middle. And then, look, if he wants to roll out, you got to deal with, on one side, you got to deal with Martin. And on the other side for them, for the Spartans is, who is that number?
It's Elijah Acevedo, 43. So when you get that pressure from the outside, you jam them into Fisher and De La Rosa. So
look,
they're solid on all four front. On those guys in the four defensive front are amazing. So here we go.
This is where they need a good punt.
Carranza again with, well, it's a good, decent punt. And it's going to roll all the way to the 45-yard line of the Spartans. So the Wildcats now, the field position is kind of tilting towards the Spartans as they have the ball again in favorable field position at their own 45 with 7:55 remaining in the second quarter.
Well, Ron, one of the things that when you talk about shifting positions, it's also shifting the momentum a little bit. Brawley was getting the ball in good field position, Ron, and they weren't able to capitalize except for that 2 series ago where Carranza, was able to score the touchdown on that short run. But let's see what these Spartans can do.
Spartans got a first down. Their last big play in that last possession was a very effective flanker screen. Here's a give to Sullivan off the right side. Sullivan and a touchdown saving tackle by Platt.
Number 17, Platt. And Platt had to come from his outside linebacker position to make that tackle because he was gone through that inside.
He hit that hole pretty quick. The ball now at the Wildcat 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. For the Spartans. A quick hitter, and that's what you want to do on those dives. Boom, you're going to hit it off the guard. You want to nail that quick. You want to blow up that ball, and that's what Sullivan can do. He accelerates really fast, man. He could go to 0-100 really quick.
Well, he's deceiving because he's so big. You don't think he has that speed.
He's an athletic kid, man. So here we go. Motion by number 15. That is Emiliano Morales.
And that's going to be against number 79, Ramirez, as we take a look at Mr. Seaman.
Number 79, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So they're going to replay the first down, 1st and 15 now for the Spartans. The ball is now still in good territory, 46-yard line of the Wildcats. 7:13 remaining in the second quarter. We have a 7-7 tie. Well, not too much scoring, but good plays going on offense, Will.
Yeah, and good plays. And then on the Wildcat side, they do have some good plays, but they're not capitalizing on the central mistakes.
That's right. So here we go, 1st and 10. Rodriguez looks. He has time. He's going to shoot it down the middle, intended for, and knocked down. Great play by Damian Abarca, a long coverage with Corrales. I want to see who the ball was intended for. I believe it was. I'm trying to get his number.
The thing was, it
was Gavin Marini, intended for Marini.
Now, Morales might only be standing at about 5'6", but he came up to be 6'5" to break up that pass play up there deep. So and it was a good
ball.
Yeah.
Good ball by Rodriguez. 6:53 remaining. You now have 2nd down and 15. And let me tell you, man, Pena putting pressure on the Brawley defense. You don't know whether it's run or pass. And that's what you want to do as an offensive play caller. So here we go, 2nd down and 15. Ball is still at the 46-yard line of the Wildcat. Doubles on both sides. The wide side to the right of Rodriguez. Again, passing. Again, plenty of time. He shoots it down the middle. Charlie Sullivan's open and he drops it. He drops it at the 10. You'll never see, 9 out of 10 times he makes that catch. Luckily for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
Somebody went to church this weekend.
And I'll tell you what, even though Charlie did not come down with that pass, he just shows his ability right now, how that was a sweet jog just back to the huddle. This guy's not only is he a power runner, but he's in great shape.
He's a good receiver. Yeah. Coming out of the back with a kick and catch. He made a great catch for a 2-yard gain, and right there went through his hands. So now the Wildcats catching their breath after that play was there, not executed. 3rd and 15 for the Spartans, 6:47 remaining. Trips to the right. 21-0 Calexico in the battle for the border. Here is Rodriguez again. Rodriguez shoots. It was short. And is it Kai Washington underthrown ball?
Well, Ron, that was just a great play, but it was a hair thrown. It looks like they both came down with it, and Micaiah was able just to take it away. And you know what? This one he came down with. So
at the replay right here, it looked like Rodriguez. It was about a half-yard underthrown. He had a step on him, but Micaiah Washington tracking gets the interception for the Wildcats. So it was a 3rd and 15.
And that was 3 deep passes in a row. While we got a second here, Arctic Air and Conditioning. When it's as important as choosing the best equipment, your trained professionals provide you with the top quality equipment, skilled installation, and expert analysis of your comfort needs. Contact Arctic Air Conditioning at 352-8855. As we take a look,
Timeout.
we're going to get a timeout. So as Ron and I catch our breath, wild game up here. VSN, Joaquin, Ron, Will, and Sarah will be right back after this.
Back to Warne Field with 6:38 remaining in the second quarter. We have a 7-7 tie. Fresh off of Mackay Washington interception, the Wildcats now take over at their 1-yard line, and it's a fumbled snap. Now we also have a penalty, so
we do have a penalty on the field right now, but let's see what Mr. John Seaman, this is going to be interesting right here.
Dead ball, snap infraction on the center. Replay.
Oh,
touchdown.
no.
So it doesn't matter because it was a dead ball foul. It was a dead ball foul. So whatever happened didn't matter because that was a dead ball foul. So, yeah, it's irrelevant.
Snap infraction, can you explain that? I mean, it's not an illegal procedure. He moved, so
no.
maybe.
So what it could be with he was the only one that moved the ball and the line didn't move. Or he could have lifted, you know what I meant by just barely twitching the ball? Yeah.
Something to watch for as Brian Porras looked like he was limping. The give is 2. And there's a very close call. Maybe could have been a safety.
Number 54 coming in there. That is Michaela Ocon and just
Malachi Ocon, huh?
Malachi Ron, you are dead right on that. That was very close to
forward progress. Look where the ball is. If you can see where the ball is, it's right at the half-inch line. So the nose of the ball is standing outside of the end zone for the Wildcats with 6 minutes remaining. You have now a second down. Man, how can you lose yards? Well, you can. It's second down and 12.
It's going to be up to De La Rosa and Fisher in the middle. Well, Fisher's not in right now, but
Spartans, and yeah, right now, great play by number Skylar Cook, lining up his DBs. And here's Gutierrez. Gets a little bit of breathing room, brought down by number 12. That is Josiel Rodriguez, complete to Platt.
So one thing that we're watching in that middle, they're double teaming number 59. A name we haven't called too often is Hatfield, number 59.
Davian Hatfield, he's only a sophomore, big boy out there.
Big boy out there doing a little bit of damage. Anytime that they have to double team you, that is just great job that they're doing. But this is where De La Rosa's motor just keeps them moving. Right now with 5:06, 5:05 clock running, we're looking at what is it, Ron? Third down, 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. Gutierrez standing in his end zone in shotgun formation with 4:56 remaining. It's a 7-7 tie if you're just tuning in. Martin on the rush. Martin had his inside. Gutierrez shoots it for, intended for Tanner Carranza. Carranza, similar to the play by Sullivan, gets out of the backfield, wide open, overthrown, 4th down for the for the Wildcats.
I was actually keeping an eye on Carranza on that play, Ron, and he was open for a bit, but then the safety comes over. But, it
was overthrown. I mean, he got behind the 2 defenders in that. You can't have that. I was looking at Martin. Martin got an inside rush, and he was able to be fended off by number 61, Ronnie Rosales. So 4:44 remaining. You have Tanner Carranza standing at the back of his end zone with 4:44 remaining.
And the key thing is he's breathing heavy right now. He just ran a deep pattern.
Yeah, that's a good point at the 35-yard. So Carranza gets a kickoff to the right. It's going to be fielded at the 32. And that is Estrada to the 20, to the 15. Flags on the field, man. Wow. Wow.
Let's look if we can see it in the replay that we have inside our booth right now. It looks like that it might have been number 32 is on the ground. That doesn't mean the penalty was on him.
Well, somebody's down there.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what happened there. Hey,
it could be a defenseless
player. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see.
One of the things that they call it now is blindside hit.
That was Mario Casares. That was down number 32. He's running off the field. That's a good sign.
And this is the important. Here we go with the explanation.
Blindside block on Central. It's going to be 15 yards. First down.
So that's going to move them back when they were looking at excellent field position there, Ron.
Well, fortunate for the Wildcats that happened for them. It backed them up. The ball would have been where? I didn't quite see where it ended, but it was inside the 20, I believe.
Oh, no, definitely, Ron. It was somewhere in between the 10 and the 15. But since that penalty is assessed from the spot foul, wherever it happened, it goes 15 yards from there, Ron.
So now the Spartans will take over at the Wildcat 38-yard line. Great field position with 4:37 remaining.
4 down territory, if you ask me, but you're not asking me, and you don't want to know what I say.
37 yards, 37 yards. Nothing to sneeze at. The Wildcats now have lost the field possession.
You mean the Spartans?
Meaning
the field position game that was going back and forth?
Going back and forth is now tilted towards the Spartans with 4:37 remaining. Short motion by Marini. That's number 14. They give it to Sullivan. Sullivan out the right side. And again, they're finding something in that Wildcat middle that's working for them. And that's going to be a good gain of maybe 6 yards, 2nd down and 4.
That's Alex Castillo, number 66, making the tackle.
But
when
your defensive tackle or nose guard's making the tackle 6 plays from the line of scrimmage,
they're pushing them back.
Sign. Not a very good sign, but 2nd down and 5. Let's say 5 yards. They say 6 on the scoreboard. So 2nd down and 6, we'll go with that. Ball's at the 34-yard line. Spartans just taking their time, walking up to the line of scrimmage, headed up by, as we said, number 77. That is the big boy. That is Brendan Havens, a senior, 73 center. Fake 2, Sullivan, Rodriguez shooting for Estrada. Great play by Makai Washington, number 5, knocking it down. So,
Ron, it's still early in the game with 3:44 to go, but this first half, Makai Washington has been a difference maker. And he's got what, 2 Oskies already?
He has 2. He should have had 3, but we'll take 2. And he's knocking the ball down. He's playing well defense. And when you're a cornerback, when you're a defensive back, and you're playing a team that likes to throw the ball, you have to do your job, man. Your priority, your responsibility as a DB is pass first. That's what he's doing. That's what you're paid to do. So here we go. Yes, sir.
That's true.
Coach Cato just said it. So here we go. Sullivan to the left. Sullivan sweeping. Sullivan trying to get around Platt, and he strung out by Platt, strung out there by Tweety Corrales. Ball will be spotted at, I'm going to say, the 36-yard line of the Wildcats. Did he gain a yard? I don't know.
Well,
great defensive perimeter defense by the Wild. That was superb, man.
Yeah, that's Platt doing his job. If you're going to let him get around, you better make sure you stretch it out and he goes out of bounds on your side.
And great support by that monster, the strong safety Corrales, because if he gets around Platt, it's all green.
So we're looking at right now at a 4th down, 4th and about 8, Ron. I mean, and it looks like they're going to go in the punting formation. Maybe if they can get the Wildcats to jump off sides. I really don't know what the situation is going to be like, but it looks like.
So a pooch by Midas Rodriguez. They're telling everybody to get away. Ball bounces. It's going to say maybe going to roll to the 10-yard line of the Wildcats. So with 3:29 remaining, we now have the Wildcats taking over at their own 10-yard line with 3:29 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Letterman's and Bros for all your custom Letterman jackets serving Yuma and Imperial Valley. Call Letterman's and Bro at 760-693-5034. Your right choice for your Lettermans. And don't forget, when you go out to vote next week on Tuesday, Measure B, vote yes from the friends at IVC. As the Wildcats are ready to roll here, Ron.
So we have 3:29 remaining in the second quarter. The Wildcats now, again, pinned back, and they're deep in their territory. We'll say the 10-yard line. Gutierrez standing at his 5. He gives it to Carranza. Carranza up the middle. Carranza, good run for 5, maybe. We'll give him 3.
That's what we talked about. That's Diego Hernandez, number, sorry, I thought that was 66, but it's 56 making in the tackle there. And that's Michael Fisher, back in the game right there. You know, it's those big guys rotating around there.
Yeah, you know, they're keeping, I'm noticing how they're rotating those D linemen. Very great strategy for the Spartans, working well for them right now. We also have out there at outside defensive end is Israel Roscone. So 2:57 remaining. Wildcats, again, find themselves with a 2nd down and 7. Doubles on both sides. Wide side to the left of Gutierrez. Single back Carranza. Gutierrez, look, he shoots it out, and he's hit as he throws. And by who? 22, Jared Martin. You know, the Wildcats have got to shore up that pass blocking. They've been getting to him. They've been knocking.
The thing is, Arturo Estrada was on the coverage. Even if he would have caught it, he got very little yards on that, Ron.
The defense is playing well on both sides. Both defenses are playing well, you know.
One of the things we've seen, there's been a lot of pressure on Gutierrez, especially.
They're coming through.
Yeah,
they're on passes. It's hit or miss. So right now, 3rd down and 7, 2:43 remaining. Doubles on both sides. The wide side is to the left of Gutierrez. Gutierrez fakes to Carranza. He looks, he rolls to his right, shoots it out, and he just gets rid of it. So now they will be looking at a 4th and 7. So 3 quick plays.
But Ron, there's still 2:39 to go in the half.
Remaining. The Spartans with 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
So with their pocket full of timeouts, they will be. Again, it just seemed like the last possession. Look where Estrada is standing.
Well,
look where Estrada is standing at the 45-yard line. Carranza standing not at the back of his end zone, but at the right at the.
Well, one of the good things about this, Ron, is that he's not going to be winded on this.
No, that's not so. Carranza again. Now that's a Carranza punt. He makes him retreat back all the way to his 46. Makai Washington misses the tackle. And that's number 6, Camilo, and he got a block in the back, man. You got a block in the back.
Ron, is that what it was, a block in the back, like or could it be a face mask?
No, I'm going to say maybe a block in the back.
Well, that's not what the Spartans needed right now, but what they did need, and they got, was a good punt by Carranza to actually pin him back.
Carranza nailed it. That's been his best punt of the night when they needed it.
Well, let's go to Mr. John Seaman, see what he has, and he's already saying, here we go.
Going to run back, block in the back on Central, 10-yard, 1st down.
Yeah, and that comes, Ron, the 10 yards on top of that, because like we said, it's a spot foul, and then they move him back just when you thought he was positioned to get the punt at Brawley's 45, or at least midfield at the most. Look how far back. You move him back another 30 yards after that, Ron. And with 2:26 to go in the half, but we've seen the Central Spartans score with less than a minute.
That big run, but very fortunate for the Wildcats. You had Estrada standing at the 45. You ended up backing up. Look where they're at now, man. They're all the way back to. Now they're going to reset, let's say, the 29-yard line. So that's where the Spartans will take over with 2:26 remaining in the second quarter. They have a pocket full of timeouts. That's 3. So here we go. Doubles on both sides. Rodriguez. Motion by Morales. They'll give us to Sullivan off the right side. Sullivan, good run, good gain. 5 yards. We'll say 2nd down and 5. Ball's at the 35-yard line.
And Central Spartans playing a little conservative, but I wouldn't even call that conservative, Ron, because when you got Charlie Sullivan in the backfield, he's shown that he has been able to break it open up in between the 2 tackles.
So you have 2:04 remaining, and like I said, a pocket full of timeouts. The ball's at the 25-yard line. 2nd down and, let's say, 4. 2nd down and 4. Ball's at the 35-yard line. Doubles on both sides. Marini with motion. Marini stops with his motion. Interesting. Stops and stays there. Goes back to Sullivan to the right side. Sullivan is at the 40. Shirt tail tackle by Makai Washington.
No, that was number 18,
Number
Matthew
18,
Gutierrez.
Matt Gutierrez.
Yeah. You know, and he was a T-shirt, a jersey away from breaking that open. But the thing is, Ron, he did get a first down with 1:33 to go, 1:32. Clock is counting down.
1:30 remaining, inside 1:30. Ball's at the 45-yard line, the Spartan 45-yard line.
And as you see on your screen, the Spartans still have the 3 timeouts.
3 timeouts. Here we go. Marini again with the motion. Rodriguez fakes to Sullivan. He throws down the outside and intended for number 13. That is Sergio Bubba Garcia. Incomplete.
And defending on that was Daniel Camilo. And that was just great coverage on that.
Play action fake.
That's your man you're going to go to. That's the difference maker. He's one of the 4 difference makers. Bubba Garcia wearing number 13 as he's been used to wearing number 3 prior to the other games. So, Ron, 2nd down and 10, incomplete pass. It stops it at 109.
109.
We feel that we know, rookie. I still feel he's going to go deep.
Has to. Well, yeah. At some point in time in this drive, if they don't get a big run by Sullivan, trips to the left. Garcia, Rodriguez again shoots it over and defended well by Chris Camilo.
Chris Camilo playing the run excellent, and now he's at the linebacker stepping back and covering that running back coming out of the field.
Drops into coverage, right. Good coverage drop by Camilo and intended for Morales, number 15.
And that's no easy task covering Morales out of that short passing round. It's going to be caught in that linebacker right in front of the linebackers, Ron.
The interesting thing about that receiving core for the Spartans, you have a freshman, a sophomore, 1 junior, 1 senior being Marini. Trips to the left. 1:05 remaining.
Hey, listen, with less than a minute to go, Brawley Wildcats 2 timeouts. You know, if it's an incomplete pass, it stops the clock, and the Wildcats are going to get the ball back.
Julius Diaz on the rush.
Now he's going to have to throw a flag on that because he wasn't outside of the tackles. That's that new rule that came in. So now
intentional grounding.
Yeah, I mean, that was we didn't have to listen to John on that one. But it is going to be 4th down, and then they're going to add the penalty onto that. So, Ron, costly mistakes by the Spartans when we were looking at them at the 45, 50-yard line.
This drive started with a penalty off that punt return, and now it's going to end with Rodriguez. Intentional grounding. Now, give the folks out there what intentional grounding is.
So you don't want to penalize them double by – so – they're going to move him back 5 yards, but what it is, it's a loss of down on that, Ron, and that's what hurts you.
So yards.
Yeah, so in other words, instead of it being 3rd and 5 yards, they're going to lose it, and it's 4th down. So who knows? You know, now the Wildcats, they flip everything over. The only difference is there's a minute left on the clock.
Now look at the field position. Look at where the returner for the Wildcats is. He's standing at the 45 and down by Ruscone at the 45. So with 54 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts, Wildcats, pretty good field position.
Well, Ron, as we have 54 seconds left on the clock right now, our halftime guests up here, as we have, I'll tell you what, we have.
It's a who's who of CIF up here right now.
We have a who's who of people in the CIF side. First of all, we got the legend, Coach Cato, as he's just been a legend about Imperial Valley. Of course, our superintendent and also president of San Diego Section CIF Advisory Council.
Good to hear.
And also, it's a pleasure to have. I'll introduce the other guests after this.
54 seconds remaining. It's a 7-7 tie. Gutierrez trying to make something happen within inside a minute. Double receivers to the left, the wide side. You have doubles on both sides. Wide sides to the right. Gutierrez on a quarterback keep up the middle. He fakes it. He's at the 50. He's going to slide down, chased down by Charlie Sullivan.
Yeah, Charlie Sullivan is just, well, he is what he is, man. He's the man out there. 43 seconds, 5. We got a timeout on the field. Or do we have, no, what it is, we have a penalty on the field.
It looks like it's going to be
there we go.
Holding on the Wildcats.
Oh, well, just like these penalties are hurting the Wildcats, they were hurting the Spartans earlier.
What I like right now at the end of that play, how the 2 alphas, Charlie Sullivan.
They had a little bit of words, right?
But it's good sportsmanship. So that's what it's all about. Big game. And here we go. So the Wildcats now, who started out at the 45, now find themselves at their own 35 with 43 seconds remaining. Clock is winding up. Wildcats with 2 timeouts remaining. What will they do? Will they play it conservative? We'll have to wait and see. Trips to the right. That's the wide side for Gutierrez. Gutierrez is sacked. Gutierrez is knocked down. And on the tackle is number 40, De La Rosa.
De La Rosa doing what he has to do.
De La Rosa doing his job exactly right. So it looks like we're going to have a timeout by the Spartans.
Yeah, and that's with 20 seconds to go. It's second down. Hey, you know, if the Wildcats want to go for it again, rookie's probably thinking, hey, listen, if they want to go for it, we'll let them. And while we got a minute here, I'd like to say Esquer Realty is your hometown real estate office in Calexico and serving the entire Imperial Valley. Go see Mark Esquera or give him a call at 760-357-9707. Driscoll's has been serving Imperial Valley since 1979. They take great pride in years of excellence and quality in custom silkscreen and embroidery services. Make sure you stop by and check out their huge selection of sunglasses, sandals, and street clothes located at 1470 West State, El Centro. And that's just an iconic location. So, Ron, with the score still 7-7, 20 seconds to go. And it looks like they might be changing the clock. They're trying to communicate with the timekeeper.
24 seconds, it looks like he's saying.
Hart Insurance. Liz and the rest of the girls are excited about their new location, located at 580 South 1st Street, across the street from Witter School, opening now. So do not hesitate to give Christy, Sandy, or any of the girls down there at Hart Insurance a call for all your insurance needs.
So now the clock is reset to 24 seconds. The Wildcats now have a second down and forever. Gutierrez looking. Gutierrez pressured by Martin again and De La Rosa, and he's just going to toss out. He's out of the tackle box. Okay to do that.
Now, will we see a timeout from the Spartans, though?
But why would you do that with an incomplete pass?
Well, we got a penalty. Here we go.
Roughing.
Whoa.
Leading with the helmet.
Wow, leading with the helmet? Oh, it definitely was. It definitely was. Unnecessary. Unnecessary to do that. Now, that was Ross going, and that's kind of a play where, you know, you're going to tell him at halftime, hey, man, no need for that. And what it does, look at what it does for the Wildcats. It's going to move the ball up all the way up to where the drive started at the 44, 45-yard line. 16 seconds remaining. Wildcats with 2 timeouts, but it's a big third down with – it's an automatic first down?
Well, unsportsmanlike, and and what I wasn't seeing, Ronnie, is where the yardstick was.
Well, it didn't.
Now, if
they were way back there. It was 3rd and 25.
So any unsportsmanlike and any roughing is an automatic first down.
Well, 16 seconds remaining. The Wildcats catch a break. Not so much for the Spartans. Gutierrez doubles on both sides. The wide side will be to his right. Single back is Carranza.
16 seconds.
He's going to follow Carranza. Quarterback lead up to the 50. That's Sullivan. That's number 47.
And now we stop.
I don't have a number for 47. If anybody from the Central side, let us know who number 47 is.
And that's a timeout by the Wildcats. And like I was mentioning earlier, we have 2 special guests up here from the CIF section, San Diego, that came down here for this historic Bell game. We have CIF Commissioner Joe Hines down here and Assistant Todd Casson. We're going to have them as our halftime guest down here. And while we have a little bit of time right now, we'd like to talk to the Commissioner right now. Commissioner Joe Hines, welcome. Well, look, you're not a stranger to Imperial Valley. You know, from what I've been hearing, you've made numerous trips down here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And before we go back to the game, I mean, from a fan's point, from a parent's view, and just a football fan in general, what a great job. Let's go back a couple of years when COVID hit this, and because it's one of those things that you want to talk about, then you want to get over because we want to move on from that. But congratulations on doing a great job to get the games going during a time that we didn't even know what was going to happen next.
Yeah, definitely some challenges out there. You know, we're very fortunate to have all the hardworking administrators, athletic directors in this section that made it happen. You know, they're the real true heroes in making, you know, us get back to a sense of normalcy we're almost at.
True that. And back to play-by-play by Ron Rubio.
10.5 seconds remaining. Gutierrez shoots it out, and it's complete to Mekhi Washington. The clock is running with 5.7 seconds remaining.
And it looks like Coach John Self will call his last timeout before the half. So, Commissioner, one of the things that we're going to talk about halftime, and it's one of those lengthy things, so we won't go too deep in it. Sure. But we wanted to talk about, you know, when we start looking at the rankings and when it comes down to playoff time, sure, one of the questions we're going to ask and see if we can get a little bit of explanation is the ranking situation and not the formula, because you know what, right. I mean, the formula is, it's right there in the bottom. Go ahead and read it. If you can make sense of it, that's your deal. But it's getting to the as a fan, we'd like to see, hey, listen, if you're a Brawley fan and you're ranked number 7th like they are today, what's it going to take to be a top 4 team? And is San Diego section going to have, like, you have your Max Preps, you have your Cal Preps, you have the San Diego Union thing. So a unified playoff bracket where it's right, sectioned by the San Diego section. Yeah.
And quite frankly, each sport has the opportunity to select their own ranking system. You know, our power rankings have been, that's probably one of the best things we've had come on board. I'll let you guys get back to the game. We can talk about this for sure.
Yeah, because I knew it was going to be a long answer. That's why.
5.7 seconds remaining. Gutierrez looking. Gutierrez steps up and nothing doing. He's going to be brought down again by number 40, Rascon. That's going to end the court. That's going to end the half, Will. So we end the first half. At the 79th annual Bell game, we have a deadlock tie with the Brawley Wildcats 7, Central Spartans 7. Back to us.
After these breaks, Ron Rubio, Will Torrez, Joaquin Matus, Commissioner Joe Hines, and Assistant Commissioner Todd Casson. We'll be right back after these messages.
Cada día, el Distrito de Irrigación de Imperial, su entidad pública, ha proporcionado servicio de energía confiable y económico a sus clientes en los valles de Imperial y Coachella. Comparado con otros proveedores de energía, los clientes residenciales, comerciales y gubernamentales del IID ahorran hasta un 50% en sus facturas. Es porque el IID está comprometido a más que solo proporcionar energía. El IID está comprometido con usted. IID, donde los clientes siempre son primero.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beer is in the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Welcome back, everyone, at halftime, where we have the score 7-0. An exciting ball game, and we expect nothing less out of these two teams. As we were talking earlier, Central in the Division II, ranked number 3, Brawley Wildcats number 7, and also in Division II. And with me, as I was talking earlier with, is Commissioner Joe Himes from the San Diego section and Assistant Commissioner Todd Casson.
Hello.
Todd, I was reading your bio a little bit. San Diego State and Long Beach State over here.
Long Beach State.
Yeah. Now, I was also reading, you're from the Chula Vista Sweetwater District.
I was. I born and raised, went to Chula Vista High School, grew up here, went to San Diego State, went back and taught in the Sweetwater District forever. I'm a pretty local South Bay guy down there my entire life.
Cool. And then you from the North County, coaching in Poway High School a little bit.
Yep, I had the pleasure of working up in Poway and starting my coaching career up there, and originally started playing up in Northern California.
Well, one of the good things that I love is that ex-athletes and current athletes, you know, whatever it is that get into the level you're at, so you understand where everything's coming from. So when people have questions or concerns, you know, you can relate to them. That's one of the positive things I would imagine, right, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, both Todd and I think just having an opportunity to be in a position like this, and obviously you're in athletics every day, and there's the landscape of athletics has changed so much here just over the past, you know, not only 3 years we've been in this job, but over the last 10 years. So it's just an exciting opportunity for us to give back. And, you know, we're in athletics and we're in this position for a reason, for the difference it made in our lives. And we're hopefully working with our schools to make those difference in the student athletes in our schools today and their future lifelong endeavors they may go into.
No, I totally agree and true to that. And Todd, with you, is this somewhere where you wanted to end? Maybe not for you because you look way younger.
Are you saying it's the end?
No, I'm not. That's why I had to finish that other part.
You did.
Todd, is this like, at one point I want to be there in my life, in my professional life?
Yeah, you know, this is a dream job, and I can tell you, Joe and I talk about that all the time. We get to work full time in athletics, and we get to see environments like this. You know, we get an invite from Billy Brewer and Simon Canales to come out to the Bell game. 100th year of these schools playing against each other. That's when you get to pinch yourself and say, how lucky are we to have a job that puts us in high school athletics on a daily basis?
No, I mean, and we feel the same way, Todd. We actually do. We really enjoy it, and you know, it's not just during the summer. It's during the springtime when we get to see stuff, and you know, you guys keep going as so does VSN. But it's just, you know, you got your wrestling and then all your other sports coming up, so it doesn't even end for you. It's definitely year round.
Oh no, we've already had our preseason meetings for the winter, and we're getting ready for fall for a spring as well. So it's year round at this point.
True. Now, when we talk about year rounds and we talk about seedings, tomorrow is actually going to be the pairings for all the CIF divisions. Is that correct? Does that happen tomorrow?
It's actually, we have games because of just some issues with our officials association, some shortages. We've had to make a lot of changes with our schedules this year. So we've had to move some more games to Thursday and Saturday. So we're actually playing some games tomorrow and Saturday. So we've actually pushed our seeding back to Sunday morning.
See, that's important because I would have been calling Billy by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning and saying, Billy, what's going on? What's going on?
You can still call him. It's not a big deal.
I'd recommend 6 a.m. if you can.
Exactly. Make sure he's on his toes.
No, and definitely, I don't think he sleeps, so I don't think that's going to be an issue.
He's not sleeping today, that's for sure, with the event they put on.
We will be seeding water polo tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and then football, we have our 8-player at 9 and then 11-player at 10. And then next week we get field hockey, and then we're done seeding for the fall sports.
So the seedings will come out on Sunday, though, for football?
We should have them up by 1 p.m.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now, I was talking during the end of the second quarter with Commissioner Joe Hines here. We were talking about is there going to be in the future a structured system where to unify all the power rankings from your Cal Preps and all those?
You know, at this point in time, you know, like I was mentioning earlier, the power ranking system and our competitive equity is one of the best changes we've made. You see the rest of the state kind of going to a similar model in most of our sections, so it's been awesome. And a key part of that was the creation of our power ranking systems. So each sport has an opportunity, their advisory groups, to select, you know, and the majority of our schools either use max preps for their rankings or they'll use our CIF power rankings. Lacrosse has their own system set up that they use, but it's been a process over time, and with the creation of those power rankings, you know, we've gone back and forth, and especially in the sport of football, we started with the power rankings. They went to max preps for a while, and there were still concerns about max preps. Is this the best system to use? There's still questions because there's still, you know, secrets with respect to how they use their algorithms for their ranking procedure. So, you know, 2 years ago, the decision, let's go back to power ranking. So, you know, it's different. Our goal is to have the most accurate system for our rankings of our teams to be able to seed our playoff teams in all of our sports. So we're going to continually review that. We'll have the discussion here after the football season is over here with our advisory group and find out, do we want to continue with the power rankings? Do we want to look at a Cal Preps or a Max Preps? There was some discussion going through our governance, potentially doing something similar to what the Southern section does, where they don't seed their teams or place them in divisions. They go to the end of the season and just go straight through Cal Preps and rank all their teams based on how they finished in that season at the end of the year and rank their team. So lots of discussions, lots of different things going on out there, and we'll definitely be having some more discussion as we finish up our season.
And if I could just add that no ranking system's perfect.
No,
exactly. We haven't seen one that nails it exactly the way it should be. I have been impressed to see with what our power rankings can do. And, I think what you're seeing is more out of section contests right now, which really is different, and which really puts us, I would say, adjusts those power rankings a little bit. So it's really figuring out what is the best for each individual sport.
Sure. Well, not so much San Diego area, but it does affect Imperial Valley when we're playing, when the Imperial Valley schools are playing the Yuma schools. So, and then that gets in, and then sometimes the Coachella Valley, which is in the southern section.
Yeah.
So, whoa, it starts really, it's going to hurt you. Then, I mean, that's just the honest truth, because it's a different type of system.
And it all depends too. I mean, it's very similar to what we have to do in the southern section, and it's compounded that with their changing of how they do their ranking systems. They don't set divisions at the beginning of the year like we do. So it's a matter of looking at those teams, looking at the Arizona teams or Nevada teams, wherever we're playing, and then having with our power ranking system, having to determine, okay, where would that team kind of fit into the San Diego section if they were placed there. So that's how we kind of work to make a determination of where they'd be, and then we implement our power ranking system both based on tracking those teams like we would have with our own San Diego section team. So there's a lot of work to it, as Todd mentioned.
Because we really can't just use what their division is, because most of them are done by enrollment still.
Yeah.
So just because you're a Division I based on your enrollment, we have to actually take where would you land in playing football in San Diego? Right. Would you be a Division I team, a Division II? And that's how we try to look through and make sure then we can give you the correct points.
Yeah, and let's go back to enrollment. When Jerry was still commissioner here, I don't know if you've changed it or tweaked it, but like you said earlier, you're never going to please everybody, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I do believe that the system that Jerry put in the last couple of years, it's kind of working.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're still not going to please everybody, but it did work. It is working, and it's beneficial. What changes have you done to that system since you've been in?
Our power ranking system has not changed, and that's and as you mentioned, when we first came in, they had been using max preps, and there was questions again where Todd talks about, every year there's some anomalies and things that happen regardless of that system. So the folks that said, hey, listen, we used max preps for a couple years, but we want to go back to the power rankings, what they used prior to going to max prep. So our power rankings have not changed at all with the formulas and how your points are calculated in the actual power ranking system. So that stayed consistent. Again, it's just a matter of looking every year and allowing our different sports and our different advisory groups to say, hey, is this system working? Or hey, maybe we may want to look to something else. And there's not a whole lot of systems out there or other options available. But again, it's constant discussion and review at the end of the season to find out, hey, are we moving forward with what we had, or is there something better we can do or so we can use that, again, gives us most accurate rankings for ourselves.
We actually tried to pilot a different one last year. We weren't too successful.
Where was this at? Where did you try to pilot it?
We were trying a different system, and it didn't really match what we were looking for, especially when we looked at the final teams.
Yeah, we were running a test on the side of our power rankings to see, okay, let's just do this as a test project on the side, and at the end of the season we'll look and, okay, how did it compare with what our power rankings look like? And it was...
I see. And you were, whoa, wait a minute.
It was just a test. We were running on the side. Yeah,
one of those things that you're trying to see if you can make something better, and I think we made something that wasn't better. So we quickly realized that's not going to work.
Yeah.
No, but my hat's off to you. We talked about earlier, you came in to hectic, and you guys have persevered and done an excellent job, and we appreciate you guys coming down. Todd, it looks like you guys are a full ball of energy, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just great to see that. It honestly is. And because for most of us down here, I know Billy's always talking about, hey, look, those guys are always coming down just for our AD meetings. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure it's the same way in San Diego for you guys. You guys are just all over getting a lot of feedback from all the coaches, all the ADs, and also superintendents.
I'll be honest with you, and Todd could share his thoughts, and he and I are very, very similar in our thoughts on these. We love coming out here, and you couldn't ask for a better conference, a group of athletic directors, conference representatives. Simon Canales is our board chair, and he's taken over, and I think it's maybe one of the first times we've ever had a representative for the Imperial Valley leading our board of managers. So just a phenomenal group of people out here. For us, it's a snap net. Todd and I were joking about it coming out here. It's like we blink our eyes, we're out here. So it's great. It's important to be visible out here because it's important for us to be able to have that communication. Imperial Valley is a critical part of our section, and we want to make sure we're respectful of everything they've done and just know how much we appreciate all the work that goes on out here.
Yeah, I just add, Joe, we put a lot of expectation on the leaders of our schools, both athletically and academically. And to have leaders like Simon, like Billy, our first meeting as a group, we were brought out here to meet the ADs and the football coaches when we weren't sure where that season was going to land.
Yeah.
And we were in the Brawley gym right over here, and those questions came at Joe and I, and believe me, our first answer was, we don't know. So it wasn't how we wanted to start being stepping into these roles. but it really helped us build the relationship with the leaders that we have out here in the Imperial Valley in the Southeastern Conference. And the last one I just have to say is Mr. Joe Evangelist, who takes a huge leadership role within the Southeastern Conference and has been a great resource for us. So we lean on them heavily, and we expect a lot of them, but they really do perform. And that's why we're lucky to come out here.
No, and that's Joe Evangelist, of course, from El Centro, now lives in Alpine. He's actually the AD of athletic directors in Imperial Valley. Is that correct?
He's the conference president.
Conference president?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, Joe's just like, I would call him a sweetheart. He's just a lovable guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I'd be honest, I don't think you could tell he lives in Alpine because every time you hear he's out here in the Imperial Valley. So I think he's just, he's a commuter Alpine person, I'd call Joe. But unbelievable person, just, I think probably one of the most respected people out here in the Imperial Valley. And again, as Todd mentioned, just a phenomenal leader for the Southeastern Conference.
Well, gentlemen, once again, it was a pleasure for you guys to come up here. It was a pleasure to have you guys on VSN. Express your thoughts a little bit and give our gratitude, our thanks for everything you guys do for not only Imperial Valley, San Diego County, but also getting a chance to come up here and say hello to the fans from the VSN point of view.
Appreciate you having us. A phenomenal job, and thank you for all you do for everyone out here in the Imperial Valley. It's a great thing, and appreciate all that too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful night for high school sports.
Absolutely.
It is, man. God bless, and we'll be back after this.
Day in and day out, your publicly owned Imperial Irrigation District proudly delivers low-cost, reliable energy service to its customers in the Imperial and Coachella Valleys. When compared to other power providers, IID's residential, commercial, and governmental customers all save up to 50% on their monthly energy bills. That's because IID is committed to more than just delivering power. IID is committed to you. IID, where customers always come first.
Reducir el uso de energía durante el verano es más importante que nunca. Este verano, IID le anima a hacer su parte al ajustar su termostato a 78 grados o más, evitar usar electrodomésticos principales de 4 a 9 p.m. y apagar luces innecesarias. Pero aún hay más. IID ofrece un número de oportunidades de ahorro de energía. Conozca nuestros consejos de ahorro de energía en iid.com. Trabajemos juntos para estar frescos y para ahorrar energía este verano.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Back to Warne Field. Alongside with me is Coach Steve Cato. Coach Cato, what is your opinion of the 7-7 tie? What's going on with this game?
It's a heck of a defensive game. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a defensive game. You have on both sides of the. You have a great player, Ethan Gutierrez, as a quarterback for the Brawley side. You have Charlie Sullivan on the Spartan side. As a coach,
Carranza's not bad.
Not bad at all. But,
Yeah.
you know, the keys to victory were one or the other. If you had to pick your poison, who would you try to stop, a running back or a quarterback, Coach?
A running back.
Running back.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Coach.
Yeah, Sullivan reminds me of Christian Ramirez. They're about the same size in high school. And he's a breakaway threat.
Mm-hmm.
He has good eyes, good vision. He sees an open hole and he
takes it. I mean, he hits it. He hits it quick, and also a great receiver coming out of the backfield, Coach.
Yes. You know, I was thinking about the past. John Self's dad gave me a book, and it was the 5'2" slanting monster. And it was written by Pepper Rogers back in the 60s, late 60s. And then he was the one that started the split back veer option. And anyway, it's exciting seeing option football, our RPO now.
Yes, that's how it's evolved along the way. And Pepper Rogers was a coach at UCLA, had a tenure at UCLA. He was at other schools, but you know, it's really interesting that you bring that up. A 5'2" monster, well, you know, slanting and all that stuff. Yeah. Brawley still runs that. Brawley's in the 5'2" slant pinch. You know, the techniques are still there. It's a defense that has weathered the time of football, and that's a classic thing, Coach. And then you brought up the veer. You know, John Bishop brought the veer to Brawley, and it was a staple of Coach Bishop's offense. And to this, you see a little bit of that everywhere you go. The veer offense.
Yes. Yeah, everybody's doing it now, even the pros.
Yeah, and the beauty about the veer, Coach, is you don't have to pancake your linemen. You just have to run the interference. I mean, you don't have to drive anybody into the ground.
Yeah.
And if you have a small offensive line like Brawley, well, let's say undersized, not small, that's a good offense to run. So, Coach, what do both teams have to do right now? You're deadlocked 7-7. There's 24 minutes left to play. What would you say? What's the key to success right now?
I would be looking for where the holes are defensively and attack those big holes, split them, make big splits, or tighten up your splits, or go unbalanced. It's a variety of things. You got to toss, pitch, crossfire.
Yes.
You remember the old
yes,
crossfire
sir.
running?
Love running that cross, jab, step, and go, and
Yeah.
you deceive deception. So, that's the way to go, Coach.
You mix it up a little. Short passing games, flat curl. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Coach, thank you very much. And now we're going to be going back to action as we're going to start the third quarter. Coach will be back. So that was, so back to action. That was Coach Steve Cato giving his little points on what we need to do, what both teams need to do.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Coach Cato, man. You know what? It's not the bell game if we don't see you up here talking to us.
It's a tradition that we've had with Coach Cato coming up here, giving his 2 cents on what's going on. So here we go, back to action.
Hey, did Coach Cato announce that Hopeville and volleyball won? Did you let the public know?
I didn't.
Oh, no. So
I didn't know. I didn't hear.
All right, back to action we go.
Nathan Urbano set to kick, and there is Bubba Garcia at the 10. He's at the 20, cuts back to the 25. He cuts up to the 30. He's going to run away up to the 35. Great field position. Brought down by number 31, Chris Camilo.
Brought down by 31, Camilo, doing it on the defensive side and on special teams.
So now the Wildcats now will set their defense up, as we said, at their 35-yard line of the Spartans. So Will, it's just been it's a one score on both sides of the sidelines. You have 7 Brawley, 7 for the Spartans.
Now, I mean, as we take a look at Coach Ricky Peña over there on the sidelines, he is totally focused right there.
So we have trips to the left, motion by Marini. Same old, same old. Here comes Sullivan, tried the left, cuts back to the right, and he finds a way, and we're going to get a call by Alan Phillips. Not sure what happened.
That was Mario Carras's on the tackle, shoestring tackle on top of that. Let's see what he has as we go to the call.
Holding on the for 73. Replay first down.
So it's a holding call on the Spartans. Moves them back from the spot, and the ball will be all the way back to, let's say, the 24-yard line. So on that, we're going to have now a second down, first down, and first down and 20, looks like. So first down and 20 for the Spartans. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Sullivan on the left of Damian Rodriguez. Motion by Marini. Pump fake, draw tosses out to Sullivan, and it's read well by the Wildcats. Great play by Matthew Gutierrez. Read well. They tried to throw back that halfback screen. Looked like they're trying to set up a screen, Will.
Yeah, and Matthew Gutierrez was there to make the tackle. That's just a well-read play by that outside linebacker defensive end.
He read it well. He stayed at home. He followed his assignment. And a good defensive play by the Wildcats. Well-needed ball all the way back to the 15-yard line, which started out very well for the Spartans at the 35. They're 20 yards back after that kickoff return by Garcia. Here we go. Second down and 30.
Yeah,
that's huge, man. Yeah. That is huge way to start. But I'm going to touch on something that happened. Here goes Rodriguez. Look at him. Rodriguez is brought down by Brody Enders.
Number 54, Brody Enders coming in there and making his name known at a timely matter time right now.
All the way back to the 5. So, as I said, they started at the 35, 30 yards later. They're back at the 5, maybe 6-yard line. Here's the thing that happened to the Spartans last week. Last week, the Spartans, there's a time frame in a game, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. That's a block of time that how well do you do in that? Last week, the Spartans hit a touchdown against the Tigers with 0.1 seconds remaining. Second half opened up. They drove it down the field, 14 points within 8 minutes. So let's see what they could do here. They have a 3rd and forever. Rodriguez throwing out of his end zone. Rodriguez with plenty of time. And he's going to get hit by Mario Cáceres. Incomplete.
No, they are going to rule him down. They are going to rule him down. Mario Cáceres has ruled him down, and it will be called a safety.
Wow, Mario Cáceres, I'm not too sure.
Now, one thing I do want to check, I do want to just check to make sure. Nope, Siemens calling it. That's what he's going to call. So it's a safety, 2 points. And what's key about the safety is that the Wildcats get the ball back right now, Ron.
For sure. So the point I was trying to make is that block of 4 minutes before the half ends and the 4 minutes over into the third quarter. So with 9:41 remaining, the Wildcats with the sack in the end zone by senior number 32, Mario Cáceres. hey, man, they put the pressure on him, but the whole deal was negative after that great return by Garcia. 35, he got the holding, and then another sack. Going backward, if you're not advancing, you're retreating. That's what happened.
That's 2 series in a row. The other one, of course, was in the second quarter, but that's where they had good field position. Okay, they can maybe get something out of this drive right here, but they kept going the opposite direction, Ron. I mean, yeah, that's and then look, we talked about the missed opportunities on those interceptions that should have been caught. We feel, but then Brody Enders comes in there and he gets some points out of it. It's just good defense.
2 sacks on that drive. It's something that the Spartans will try to correct on the offensive line. So kicking from the 24 from his own 20-yard line will be number 24. That is Cesar Becerra. Becerra is kicking from his 20-yard line. Becerra, kind of a line drive. Bounces at the 25, picked up by a Barker at the 30. He's at the 35, he's at the 40, 45, 50. Abarca to the 25, to the 921. He had one guy to beat. He didn't do it, but great return. No flags.
Saving tackle by number 12.
That's Josiel Rodriguez. Josiel Rodriguez saved the... Man,
the tide has turned a little bit.
Right now, momentum may have shifted, but Josiel Rodriguez for now saved 6 points for the Spartans, and the Wildcats now ideally at the 21-yard line of the Spartans. So you couldn't ask for a better start of the second half for the Wildcats, Will.
Yeah, Ron, at the same time, though, they have to capitalize.
This is just something now it's... This is kind of, you have to do it. I mean,
the momentum has to keep going the Wildcat way if they want to finish stronger at the game right now. I know it's early in the third quarter,
very
early in the game,
but you're setting up yourself for success right now. And if you don't do it, it's a failure. So here we go.
Sideline warning on Brawley.
Sideline warning by the Wildcats.
Oh, and see,
to the Wildcats, on the Wildcats.
We're getting excited over here, and we're missing these calls, but that's no penalty yardage lost.
Just a warning. Carranza up to the left side, and again, nothing doing, brought down by number 53.
Number 53 for the Central Spartans coming in there. That's Rascon coming in there.
Israel Rascon is a senior. I think Rascon goes from backer. He plays also defensive end, so Rascon's in there. Like I said, he rotates in with Elijah Acevedo. That's number 43, but Rascon on the tackle right now. Israel, a veteran, a senior, making a big play. Loss of 1. Second down and let's say 11 for the Wildcats. Another funny snap. So what is going on with that? I'm not too sure. He didn't get his hands on the ball.
Well, that was Ethan right there. I mean, he might have been.
Looked like he was pulling out.
Might have been in a hurry. But Ron, that's about the. I don't know what the previous one was. We saw
down here.
It was. Yeah, down on
but
the
it was
other
a
side.
Penalty.
And then, but on this one right here, it's not. I mean, it's not a wet night. The moisture is just perfect. The atmosphere is perfect. The weather's perfect. So it might just be a little. Sometimes you get that. I don't know. Sometimes the nose guard makes a difference on the center too, Ron.
Well, we have third down and let's say third down and 10. They were able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. I'm going to say 2 down territory. So you don't have to get all the 10 yards in one shot. Let's see what the Wildcats have while they have trips to the left. Gutierrez shoots it out, and Makai Washington was coming out of his break. Great defensive coverage by Zarian Robinson, number 6. So he disrupted his route, caused him timing not even there.
Yeah, and like you said, it's good coverage. The thing about Ethan Gutierrez is that we've always liked when it comes to his passing game, Ron. He gets the ball out quick, and he throws such a tight spiral that it's just a beautiful pass. And there might have been one of those timing plays, that were just off a bit.
Well, it was a good defensive play by Robinson, and no pressure there. I mean, there wasn't too much pressure like there was earlier on. So a big 4th and 10 for the Wildcats. What can they do? Gutierrez, a fade is open. He's in the corner, overshoots Daniel Camilo. So the Spartans hold on a big defensive stand that they needed. They received it.
The original Town Pump Steakhouse, for the best steaks in Imperial Valley. It's the original Town Pump, located at 200 West Main Street in El Centro. Imperial Valley College, founded in 1962. Proud sponsor of VSN's live stream, IVC, for fostering excellence in education for over 60 years.
Back to action with 7:59 remaining. The Wildcats turn it over on downs. Spartans now at the 20-yard line to give us to Sullivan. Sullivan again to the right side. Tackled by number 6.
17 and number 6 were also in there. But listen, when their defensive backs are making the tackles, like
Daniel Camilo
and
hustling Platt coming from his outside linebacker position. And first and 10 for the Spartans now at the Wildcat 34. At the Spartan 34-yard line. Will. Motion by Morales. The give to Sullivan again up the middle. Sullivan again fighting for yards. Sullivan they got to wrap that guy. You're not going to bring that guy down with shoulder popping him. You better wrap him up. He has 2 carries on the last 2 for 20 yards. First and 10 now at their 45-yard line.
And you mentioned this earlier. You got Robert Duarte. He's a defensive lineman. But Ronnie's making the tackles 8-9 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Not a good sign for your defense. So we have a first down for the Spartans with 7:12 remaining. Trips to the right. Ball's on the left hash. We have motion by Morales. That's number 15. They'll give us to Sullivan again up the right side. Sullivan is going to get another 10, 11-yard gain. So, hey, the law of averages, last 3 plays, 10, 10, 10, 11.
And why change it up, Ron? If it's working, why change it up?
Like Coach Cato had just said, you got to find the holes. Where are the holes happening? Right now, they found a couple of holes on the Brawley line, deep defensive line.
And with 6:46, 6:45 clock counting, Charlie Sullivan, and he's not even going out of the Wildcat position right there.
Straight handoff from the backfield from Rodriguez to Sullivan. The ball now is at the Wildcat 45, 44-yard line. 6:30 remaining. 3 consecutive runs by Sullivan. 3 consecutive first down. And here's number 4. Again, Sullivan all the way into inside the 30.
Now that's going to be another first down, but, Camilo brings him down, but even after the first hit, Ron.
He's moving, he's churning, Matt. Sullivan's playing a man possessed, brought down by Abarca, by Moreno. But like I said, hey, after he gains 12 yards, ball is now at the Wildcat 34-yard line, 33-yard line. Left hash.
And we alluded to this in our podcast, Ron, where it was going to come down to that line of scrimmage. These boys, led by, of course, one of our favorite linemen, number 7-3 Havens. They're the ones that are starting to take control of the ball game.
Havens, Anthony Ramirez, Nicolas Jimenez, Eli Osuna. You have Huerta and even Israel Santiago in there. They gave us to Sullivan off the right side. Sullivan to the 30. Falls forward. Positive yards. Hey, 3 yards is nothing to sneeze at. 4 times 3 equals 12.
Yeah, no. Brought down by number 18 of the Wildcats. On the right side of them, that's Matthew Gutierrez making the tackle. But like Ron said, this might have been the shortest run by Charlie Sullivan, which goes out for a play right now, that he had in this whole series, where he was only a gain of 3 and 4, which are still good yards when it was a first down.
So you have now second down and let's say 7 for the Spartans. The ball is at the 31-yard line of the Wildcats. Looks like Robinson is the setback behind Rodriguez. Rodriguez is looking. He has plenty. Shoots it down the middle. He was open and overshoots number 14. That's Gavin Marini. He was open.
And you know what's interesting about that play? We are seeing Camilo, number 31, all over the field. He's going out with that tight end. Well, they don't have an official tight end, but that inside slot receiver going out with them. So. Good for Chris. That guy, he's just all over the field on the defensive side for them Wildcats.
If you're a solid linebacker, you not only are you a good run stopper, you're great on pass coverage, and as you said, good drops by Chris Camilo. So here we go, third down. They give us to Sullivan out the Wildcat, tries the right side. He's going to be brought down by a host of tacklers.
Yeah, Ron, interesting call right now for the Central Spartans, that they're going to leave it up to Coach Rookie Pena now with the 4th down situation, 4th and about 5. With 4:34 to go in the third quarter. And that safety, that was a big difference right there, Ron.
Well, right now, 2 points is a big issue right now because that's what you lead by. Third down. Oh, that is fourth down and 5.
Yeah,
Here's a big
fourth
play.
down.
Big play for the Spartans. Wildcat formation. Sullivan calling out. Sullivan will throw out of it. Is it open? He pops it up, and it's going to be incomplete. Great pass coverage. It looked like Aiden Torrez was there. Who else was there?
Micaiah Washington, number 5, Aiden Torres, and number 6, Daniel Camilo was in there. And great play. Do not catch that. The Wildcats will now take over in pretty medium to decent field position because, look, they held the Central Spartans. When you saw the Central Spartans just running the ball up the middle, getting 10 yards on that, and then
they switched to the Wildcat.
They switched to the Wildcat, and they started throwing a little bit deep. But,
it is what it is. So here we go.
It is what it is.
First and 10 now for the Wildcats. To give is to, not to give, but to keep by Gutierrez. So Gutierrez with maybe a gain of 6, second down and 4.
Intercare since 1970. When it comes to healthcare, Intercare is here to help. With locations throughout Imperial Valley, formerly La Clínica de Salud del Pueblo, improving the health and wellness of our community.
Second down and 4, gain of 6 for Gutierrez. The ball is on the left hash. He has double receivers on both sides, the wide sides to his right. Tanner Carranza is the single back. That's number 42. 3:26 remaining in a fast third quarter.
Fast third quarter. That running game's kicking in.
Gutierrez shoots it out to Abarca. Abarca runs his way up, and he's going to be spotted short of a first down by a yard. Quick little pass to Abarca. Effective, but not enough for a first down. Now the Wildcats with the third down and maybe half a yard.
And you talk about the game moving real fast with 3:05 to go. Ron, or was it just us that first and second quarter just took a long time? Well, there was a lot of penalties, though, too,
There
Ron.
was penalties that kind of stopped the momentum of the game, but now this third quarter really super fast right now. So here it goes. A big play for the Wildcats trying to keep this drive alive with 2:45 remaining. Gutierrez keeps it. Gutierrez looks up to the left, tries to bounce it out, and he does. Boy, I thought he had an alley. He didn't.
Yeah.
He gets knocked out of bounds, but not until he gets a first down.
First down brought to you by the Dom team. For all your real estate needs, give Doug and Andrew a call at 760-337-8600 for all your business, residential, and farmland real estate. It's the Dom team. IV Welding and Mechanical. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Mechanical Industrial Welding Contractor, serving the geothermal and all industrial facilities. Give Fred a call at 760-482-WELD.
Here we go, 2:17 and counting, 2:16, 2:15. Clock is ticking into the end of the third quarter. First down for the Wildcats. Gutierrez back to pass. Gutierrez flushed out. Gutierrez is going to go to Washington. He comes back for it.
Yeah, and the ruling on that, I'm going to have to agree with that. He actually took away the space from the receiver.
Impeded him.
Impeded on him for his ability to catch the ball. He has to give him that opportunity to come back. Now, and what I don't like about that, it's not that I don't like it, but look, the ball was underthrown, so the defensive receiver, he's actually helpless on that.
The defender is, but that's just the nature of the play.
That's the nature of the play.
Because,
that's exactly right.
you're coming back. He is trying to, the receiver's adjusting to the ball, and when you have your back turned, you don't know where it is, and as it is, advantage to the receiver.
Burgers and beer. For the best burgers in town, Joaquin and I just were there yesterday.
Wow.
Had that onion burger. Just something good. Burgers and Beer is open at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro. Open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come and watch the games, the playoff games next week, CIFs.
Do you think the Bell game's there right now?
Oh, I hope everybody at Burgers and Beer is watching that Bell game right there on Imperial Avenue.
First and 10 for the Wildcats inside Spartan. Oh, and a fumble again by Gutierrez.
And it looks like the Wildcats got back on it, but Ron, I would say that's the fourth mishap. And look, I don't think I'm going to point the finger at the center.
No.
That might have been, it might have hit Gutierrez's hands right there.
I think maybe he took his eye off the ball, checking his read, maybe trying to make something happen before it could happen. So,
well, when you're looking at that Central defense, why not, man? You got to see where they're coming at you. He was getting chased the whole first half, so.
1:32 remaining, loss of maybe 2 yards, let's say a yard, second down and 11, ball still in Spartan territory, let's say the 48-yard line. Gutierrez with 2 receivers on both sides. That's double doubles. Torrez again. And now a penalty.
It looks like we're going to have a false start on the Wildcats. We'll see right now.
False start. Offense. 67. 67.
So with 1:11 remaining, they wind up the clock. The Wildcats now in their own territory, let's say the 49-yard line. 2nd down and 17 after that illegal procedure call on the Wildcats. Wildcats still with a 2nd down and 17.
What do we have here?
Again on the Wildcats.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Number 79 remains 2nd down.
That was the issue. Perfect.
So the Wildcats going back 10 yards on 2 illegal procedures by the offensive line. Not something you want to do. Now the Spartans are showing a blitz. They back off. Gutierrez set to throw. Gutierrez steps up. He's being rushed, and he is going to get brought down by number 53. That's Israel Roscoe. Roscoe again. So the Spartans just pinned their ears back, knowing it was a 2nd and 17. Now it's a 3rd and 22. Loss of by 15 yards in 3 plays, Will.
It looks like now, it seems that when either team is starting to get a little bit of momentum, Ron, they seem to be shooting themselves in the foot. You had a couple of mishandles by by Brawley Wildcats, and you get a couple of penalties. Same thing on the other side of the, with 3 seconds to go.
We're going to end the 3rd quarter.
And we're going to end the 3rd quarter here. So, Ronnie, speaking of ending the 3rd quarter, when are you going to take me to Grasso's?
Let's go. I'm waiting for you to give me the green light, man.
You know, as soon as this football season, one of the other things, I'd like to meet Hank. I haven't actually personally met him. We exchanged texts, but listen, I'd like to go down there and try that tomato soup. Let me know when it's in or even before that. But listen, you can find Grasso's at Imperial Valley Tradition since 1955, a family-owned and operated business located at 1902 West Main Street. Grasso's is open Wednesday through Sunday, 5 p.m. Orders to go, come in and experience that fine Italian dining experience. Look forward to that, Ron. And don't forget, when you go out there to vote, vote yes on IVC Measure B. From all the friends at Support IVC. Reach Medical Response Service. Donnie Wharton reminds you that when second counts, and they depend on Reach Medical Transportation. And when I'm talking about Donnie Wharton, I do want to say something. Congratulations to Hunter and Taylor Wharton on getting married last week. You know, Hunter, as you know, one of our Pop Warner boys and went through the Brawley system. So congratulations to all the families involved. Hunter and Taylor, we wish you nothing but the very best.
Congratulations, Hunter. All our ball players getting married now make me feel a little bit old. So here we go. Start of the 4th quarter. It's a 9-7 ball game. Gutierrez sets for a screen. That is Brandon Porras. Minimal gain, gets a good gain, maybe of 8 yards. It's going to be a 4th down punting situation for the Wildcats with 11:52 remaining.
Arturo Estrada was there to make the stop to make sure that 1st down. And they still, you know, it's one of those things. If the Central Spartans want to be that aggressive, you know, let's do that little screen pass, which we haven't seen much of, though, Ron.
There was a missed block by one of the Wildcat linemen. If you were to see that, had they may not have made the 1st down, but would have gave Brandon Porras, who just needs a little bit of room to make a play, unavailable. Set to punt is Carranza at his 40. He kicks it off to his right. Carranza not punting as powerful as we're used to seeing, but it takes a bounce, and the Spartans will take over, let's say, at their own at the 15-yard line.
Ojeda Industries, Tony and Patricia, serving the Imperial Valley for all your industrial and agricultural needs, such as hydraulic service and repair. Located at Brawley at 1698 Jones Street. Havens Landscaping, located at 603 East Main Street in El Centro, specializing in gravel, rock, and stone for all your landscaping material and needs. Back to the play-by-play with Ron Rubio.
11:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's do or die now. This is the last 11 minutes of the regular season. Sullivan off to the left side. Sullivan now.
Great tackle. But once again, it's the defensive tackles, number 72, coming in there and make the tackle for the Wildcats. That's Roberto Duarte. But, Ron, you mentioned this earlier. It's the lineman making the tackles 5-6 yards past that line of scrimmage. And, you know, I understand that's a big line from El Centro. So, you know, you have 66 for the Wildcats, which is Alex Castillo, and number 72 helping them out right there, Robert Duarte. And it's a three-man front, Ron. So
it's a three-man front, a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. The ball is at the 22-yard line. It's a big stand for the Wildcats. Well, they need to shut them down.
I agree with you on that, Ron.
Rodriguez, look, he shoots it down. Smart play.
Yeah.
There was nothing doing on that play. He went ahead and just grounded it in the ground.
And that's just a heads-up play, believe it or not, Ron. I know it's kind of deep in their territory, but just a heads-up play by Rodriguez there. I mean, he saw
there was nothing going to be productive out of that play. The Wildcats snipped it out. Instead of losing yards, you're just going to go back to the huddle with the 3rd down and 8 for the Spartans. Trips to the right. That's the wide side of Rodriguez, his right side. Sullivan single back. Rodriguez looks. He has plenty of time. He's looking. He tosses. Wide open is Marini. Plenty of time, and he took his time. He surveyed, went for his progressions, and nailed a big 3rd down play for the Spartans.
Big down play. He didn't get no yards after that as he was tackled by number 6, Daniel Camilo. But, Ron, yeah, you give a lot of good teams like that much time, something good's going to happen to him, Ron.
And that happened for Damian Rodriguez, being patient, seeing what was given to him. He took it. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Now breathing room at the 32-yard line. The give to Sullivan. Sullivan tries the left side. Sullivan.
And even though once he hit that line of scrimmage, when he had first color jersey blue hitting him, Ron, he was still able to get 2 yards for number 54, making that tackle for him. And Enders, I mean, we're saying his name a lot, especially after he got that safety. But it's good to see him come back in the game and be productive.
2nd down and 7 for the Spartan. The ball is at their 35-yard line.
And the closer we get with 9:26 to go, you have to wonder, how much of a difference is that safety going to make, that Brody Enders?
Right now it's huge. It's the only difference in the game is a two-point lead, which is not a safe lead at all.
No. That's you said that.
That's an understatement, but here we go. Rodriguez, look. Rodriguez pumps. Rodriguez throws down the sidelines. Sullivan on an out and up. We used to call that Stanford BA.
Yeah.
Boom. And recovered by Mario Casares. That was my favorite play, coming out. Fake the out. Boom. And here we go.
Mario Casares on the coverage right there. And you know, Ron, Casares was going foot to foot with him.
Foot to foot, just a tad overthrown. So these are some of the misses that you're going to look back and say, wow, have we just made that play? That's 2 overthrown balls on Sullivan. And he wasn't home. Great coverage by Mario Casares, number 32 of the Wildcats. So here we go, 3rd down and 7. 9:01 remaining. Ball at the 35. Trips to the right for Central. Again, a kind of a high snap. Rodriguez looks. Rodriguez shoots. And it is, defended well by Damian Abarca and Makai Washington. So 4th down. The Wildcats again hold. As Coach Cato said at the break, it's a defensive game. And it's a matter of who's going to break. Right now, nobody's breaking.
Well, with the Wildcats getting the ball back after this punt, I mean, if all holds true, if they can get some kind of return, get close to midfield with 8:56 to go, like I said, a little under, you got Camilo back there. I mean, I'm not going to say the punts have been great for the Central Spartans.
They've been a little bit short, and I'm kind of wondering why the Wildcats are so backed up. You have the up back is at the 43, and here is Rodriguez. Is that Milas who just kicked that? But a great balance, man. A terrific balance. That's what the Spartans needed. They got it. The Wildcats will now start at their 22-yard line with 8:46 remaining 4th quarter.
Ranco Incorporated is a general contractor. They do commercial, real estate, government, and public work projects. Excellent reputation, long list of satisfied clients to their superior workmanship, attention to detail, clear communication, honest and integrity. Lee Tire proudly serves the local El Centro area, featuring tires that fit your needs and budgets from top quality brands. Pride themselves on being your #1 choice for any truck repair.
So now the Wildcats take over with 8:46 remaining. The ball is at their 20-yard line. The pitch to Camilo. Camilo cuts back. Camilo! Camilo to the 40. Camilo to the 48, 49.
And that, Ron, it's just, tackled down by Zarian Robinson. But that's one name we haven't called too much on the offense, but it's going to take that type of senior to make those type of plays to make the difference in the ball game with 8:36 to go in the fourth quarter.
That just was a heart. That kid ran that ball with a lot of heart right now. He cut back, got good blocking, cut back, found a crease, kept going, carries the ball out to the 48-yard line of the Wildcats for a first down. 8:21 remaining. Now the clock is playing a big part in this game, Will.
And you know who the master of time management is on this football field today.
You get that ball running. So here is Carranza to the left side. Carranza met by a host of Spartans,
on the
mainly
bottom
number 59.
Nehemiah Perez on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, Nehemiah Perez coming from a safety spot. My God, with a good tackle. Looks like two Wildcats are not getting up so quick. One being David Martinez, the other Brian Porras. And Brian Porras, anytime you see Brian Porras get up like that, it's something to be concerned with, and that might be his knee, and it might not even be his bad knee.
Well, we hope he's going to be okay, but we'll find out after this break as Joaquin Matus, Will Torres, Ron Rubio, Jalen Fong down on the field along with Saul Peña, Sarah Torres, and Manny Gutierrez, and the legend, Coach Steve Cato. Will be right back after this.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
As we see action back again, Porras being helped off to the sideline. That's a starting center there, Ron. So interesting what can happen here. And who is their backup? Who's going in there, Ron? Is it number 72?
It looks like that is Duarte, number 72. Robert Duarte is going in for him. Duarte was the starting center for the JV last year. He's a good-sized kid. He is a junior. Under center is Ethan Gutierrez, second down, and Gutierrez looking. Gutierrez with time. He roasters right. He throws it up. That's Makai Washington at the 10. All the way to the 6. Busted coverage.
Ron. I thought he was just throwing it up to throw it up.
It looked like it. It looked like a play where you draw up in your backyard and you just toss it, and it worked.
Hey, listen. I know the Wildcats are celebrating. I get it. But you still have to face the Central Spartans.
You're at the 6-yard line. You're still at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, you haven't scored.
You're not in. 6:51 remaining. The ball is at the 6-yard line. Big drive here, Will. You're at the 6. You're at the 6-yard line. Makai Washington has been doing it on both sides of the ball, man.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Into the game is Moreno. Runs onto the field. Wildcats will be in split back formation. And that looks like a Wildcat, a timeout by the Spartans. So we're 6:28 remaining. Ball on the 6-yard line. Back to Will Torres.
So let's not forget about our good buddy Brady Turner, hauling of construction and farm equipment, one of Steve Cato's football players, and in-depth services for rock and gravel. Give Brady a call, 760-456-0002. Ron, we're having an excellent ball game right here. I'd like to give a shout out. I mean, we've had a little back and forth. The El Centro Police Department, they've done a great job, met some great people. Of course, intern Chief Sawyer and then, Sergeant Henderson, Officer Henderson, and then Sergeant Thompson. Yesterday, Joaquin and I had the pleasure to go down there and have a little bit of fun back and forth. But El Centro Police Department Remind you, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. El Centro Police Department is proud to honor and support all those who have been infected by breast cancer. RDO Equipment with support and solutions and expert equipment possibilities than any other dealer in the market. Whether you are a seasoned pro in precision ag or just getting started, RDO Equipment Company is your partner you need in success in the field. And that's one of our new corporate sponsors, RDO. So, Ron, with the Wildcats threatening the score right now with the time, 6:28 to go, let's see if Rookie Peña calls the correct timing on that timeout now.
6:28 remaining, or let's say 6:28, I'm sorry. Gutierrez calling signals. He's under a center. Split backs with Moreno and Carranza. The give is to Carranza up to the right side. Carranza's going to fight his way, and he keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. It's a scrum, and he scrums maybe all the way to the 1 yard line. Now, Will, let me ask you a question. What is the legality of pushing the pile like that? I mean, can you push? Can you pull? What's going on here?
Okay, so in my opinion, Ron, you cannot push. But in my opinion, I thought there was such a big bunch of people.
You can't tell.
You really can't tell. And what it was, the momentum was never stopped, Ron. So as long as the momentum wasn't stopped, yeah, progress was still getting gained on that.
So now the Wildcats find the ball inside the 3 yard line. Let's say the 2.5 with 5:50 remaining.
Clock's starting to become a factor, but not really. No, the clock's not starting to become a factor yet with 5:37 counting.
If the Wildcats score, it'll be an 8-point lead. That's without the extra point. The give us to Carranza to the left. Carranza trying to find his way, nothing doing. Why? Because number 53
of the Central Spartans comes in there and makes a stop. That's Israel Roscone.
Roscone has been making some pretty big, important stops on 3rd down and when they need it. But now the ball is placed at the 1 yard line with 5:08 remaining.
Ron, I don't think a field goal helps you here at all.
No, not at all. It doesn't do you any good because a touchdown, you're losing. So
and then a field goal is not going to win you the game. I mean, it's going to win you the game for the Central Spartans with only a 2-point lead.
So 9-7, 4:50 remaining. The ball is at the 1 yard line. Again, 2 tries from the 1. Let's see what the Wildcats decide to do. The give is to Carranza, and Carranza's in.
Carranza is in for a touchdown.
So with 4:38 remaining after that one big play, Gutierrez to Washington. The Wildcats now find themselves up 15-7.
Oh, so Coach telling us that there was a big split down there. Now, Ron.
That's meaning the line split. That means the footing between the linemen was pretty big. It cashed in with 4:38 remaining. Urbano set to kick.
How important is this PAT,
It's very important because it'll give them a 9-point lead. It's up, and it is good. So 16-7, you're up by 9. You need 2 scores to win. A 2-point conversion doesn't help you.
Yeah, that is key.
And so that's where that 2-point safety comes in huge right now, man.
Whoa, we didn't think it was going to be a difference. We always know that it does, Ron.
Every point counts in a big, huge game like this.
So look, not only do the Central Spartans have to score, they have to score fast, and they have to score twice, Ron.
Yes, they do. With 4:38 remaining, 10 points gets you the lead. You do the math.
Yeah, Arctic Air. We know having the right people at the right job is just as important as choosing the best equipment. York-trained professionals provide you with top-quality equipment, skilled installation, and expert analysis for all your comfort needs. Give Arctic Air a call at 352-8855. Ronnie, we got ourselves a ball game here. This is exactly what we expected, Ron.
This is exactly what you expected. We're hoping for a lot of points. No, you didn't get it, but if you love the strategy of a defensive struggle, this is what you have, man. You have 2, you could label them high-powered offenses, but 2 great defenses that have been helping their teams all season long. In this big game now, it's what it's all about. So here we go. Set to kick is Urbano. Urbano is at a pooch, and that is Robinson at the 15. Robinson to the 20, the 25, works his way up to the 27, tackled by
Number
Matthew
18,
Gutierrez.
Matthew Gutierrez making the tackle there for the Wildcats and letting everybody know it. So these next two series of downs are going to be very important for the Spartans and, of course, for the Wildcats. The defense of the Wildcats, Ron, this is where they're going to have stuff. As Coach Cato knows, offense wins you games, defense wins you championships.
So that's right now. Are the Wildcats able to play championship football with 4:34 remaining? As we'll mention, the Spartans have to score 2 touchdowns. They have 4:34 remaining. Gutierrez with trips to the left, motion by Marini. You have that sprinter in the backfield. They give him to the right, left side, nothing doing.
And that's just everybody on that line. That's what that defensive line, the difference, Ron, the tackle's not being made 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and now it's being made at the line of scrimmage.
That was Platt and Camilo. Camilo number 31, second down, and man, they gave him no yards on that play, 4:12 remaining. And this is where the Spartans taking time in that huddle.
Well, Ron, yeah, you
got to get going, man. 4:03 remaining. Unless they have the ability to strike it big right away. That's what they need. 3:57 remaining, trips to the left. Rodriguez set to throw. Rodriguez with plenty of time. He's going to launch it, and that's number 9, Estrada. And Estrada gets through Aiden Torrez and Mekhi Washington, touchdown. Lightning strikes, man. That's what they needed. That's what they got.
Ron, to tell you the truth, I did not even know who came down with that play right there. And that is all Artie Estrada. That is all Artie Estrada. Throw me the ball,
I'll go get it.
Yeah,
and
it was good. It was good defensive coverage too.
Good coverage. I will say this. Your corner was there. Your safety needs to clean up, play up. But it didn't happen. Estrada went up and got it. High man point. It is now 16-13, and now it is 14. 16-14, 3:42 remaining, and the Central touchdowns will have been lightning touchdowns. A 60-yard run by Sullivan, and whatever that was right now.
As we know, the Central, and Ron, when you were telling me it was a 9-point difference, I was starting to do the math, and I go, you know what, I'm just going to go back to the game. But with the 2-point difference right now, the Wildcats, I don't even think that's as much important as taking that time off the clock right there, Ron. You know what I mean? The Central Spartans are left with 2 timeouts. And so, because Rookie called that one on the defense after that long catch by Mekhi Washington over there. So Spartans being left with 2 timeouts, the Wildcats have to control the clock right now. That's what they have to do. And Ron, it's going to take 3 first downs. It's going to take 3 first downs by the Wildcats.
You're going to have to knock these first downs. You're going to have to get some first downs. It's a lot of time. Hey, there we go.
What did Coach say?
An onside kick. That's very possible. So Midas Rodriguez will line it up at the 40. This is the deal. The Spartans, right on cue, as I said, they needed lightning. Lightning has struck, and here's the kick by Rodriguez. A little poocher fair catch by Mekhi Washington at the 20. So Mekhi Washington fair catches the Wildcats 80 yards away if they're going to score anything. 3, a field goal, a touchdown. It'll take them 79 yards to get there.
70 yards, but they don't even have to get there, though, Ron. They don't. They just have to take the time off the clock. And that is the key. With a 2-point lead, 3:42 to go right now, Central Spartans have to hold these Wildcats, put them, and even if they do punt away, the Central Spartans still got to score, but, a field goal.
A field goal, so this game is not over. Here we go. Everything is set. The give is to Carranza. Carranza is going to fight his way up to the 30-yard line. Is it a first down?
And I think it's going to be a first down. Beacons, the side referee, calls it a first down.
No, it's short. Second down and 1.
Okay.
Ball, the nose of the ball at the 30.
And that's actually an advantage right there, Ron.
Yes.
Yeah, because
you're going to get another down.
You better be able to get that first down right there, yeah. With the clock ticking, 3:13, 3:10, as we see our buddy Cole Johnson up here paying us a visit all the way from Yuma, KYMA. Great to see you, Cole Johnson.
Great to have Cole around us. He's hanging around us. He's being here. reporting for KYMA.
Yeah.
And here we go. Second down and 1, 2:56 remaining. They give us to Carranza. No, it's Gutierrez. Gutierrez tries the outside 30. He's going to run out of bounds. Runs out of bounds.
He runs out of bounds. The last thing he wanted to do was probably run out. But, Ron, listen, you're
But the
getting
clock was going to stop for the chains to move, right? Just a few seconds.
Well, the difference is that the clock does stop, but it starts as soon as it's set. Well, right here, it's not going to start till the ball is snapped.
So 2:48 remaining. 2 timeouts on both sides for the Spartans and the Wildcats. Now, is Gutierrez looking at the back judge for that hand raise? Do you think he's going to snap the ball with 5 seconds?
I'm sure he's coached that way, Ron, so I would say yes on that one.
2:48 remaining, split backs. They give us to Moreno. Moreno, maybe 2 yards on the play up to the 35-yard line.
Clock ticking, 2:40. Second down, 2nd and 8.
And is that Torrez again on the ground?
I mean, if you're a senior, that's not what you want to. That's not what you want to see, and especially if it is Torrez. I can't even tell who it is from up here.
That might be Brian Torrez, who's been battling knee injuries since last year, and maybe it's a cramp.
Imperial Valley College, founded in 1962, proud sponsor of VSN's live stream for all Imperial Valley High School sports, IV, fostering excellence in education for over 60 years. Hart Insurance. Liz and the rest of the Hart girls are excited about their new location at 580 South 1st Street, across the street from Witter School. Open now. Do not hesitate to give Liz and all her staff a call for all your insurance needs. 760-344-1400. As we get back to action with my number 1 since day 1, Ron Rubio.
2:38 remaining in the Classic Bell game. Ball is at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a story ending. A great ending right now, building up to a great ending. Here we go. Second down and 7 for the Wildcats. Brawley needs to hold on. The ball was given to Carranza. Carranza, nothing doing. Again, 53, Roscone.
Roscone in there and just making havoc in where it counts. Now we're going to have a central timeout with Martin goes in there. And
somebody's down for the Spartans. Go ahead.
Somebody's down, but I do believe they did call a timeout. But
yes, they did prior to that.
From Jalen Fong, Saul Pena down on the field. VSN will be right back after this.
Make COVID-19 boosters part of your summer plans. Children 5 years of age and older are now eligible for a COVID-19 Pfizer booster. The vaccine is safe, free, and effective. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700 to schedule your child's appointment or find a clinic near you. Have a safe summer. Get boosted. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 442-265-6700.
Cada día, el Distrito de Irrigación.
The original Town Pump Steakhouse. For the best steaks in Imperial Valley, go visit Juanita and Gabriel. And, of course, the guy that runs everything down there, Matthew, located at 200 West Main Street in Westmoreland.
Matthew's going to owe us a free meal.
Hey, Matt's not like that. Matt, everybody pays. And that's going
to cut into his salary. He starts handing out free meals.
When it comes to health care, Intercare is here to help with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. Formerly known as the Clinicas, like to say hello to Yvonne Bells, that has been always gracious with us. Great. She's the CEO of Intercare. Joaquin and I had the privilege to sit down and have a meeting with her. Great person, great partnership we have gained with Intercare and VSN. And Rusty Garcia was part of that group. Rusty Garcia is actually the board president. So
wow, good deal, Rusty.
Good combination. Intercare is proud to be a part of this whole VSN, and I hope everybody watching is getting to watch this beautiful. This is what high school is all about, Ron.
So with 2:13 remaining, Israel Rascon being carted off. You don't like seeing that, and hope well wishes to Israel and his family. So now the Wildcats have a big third down right here, 3rd and 8. Spartans with 1 timeout remaining. They did get charged, it seems like, according to our screen here. They wind up the clock, 2:11 remaining. What are the Wildcats going to do?
No,
a fumble by Torrez. So maybe that center with the new center and the quarterback, the Wildcats do not even get a playoff. And now with 2:01 remaining.
So,
hey, why is the clock? Did they get another timeout?
No, because no. So what I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna go back to that timeout. So the reason I can tell that it wasn't a charged timeout on the other one, Ron, because as soon as the guy, Coach Cato, we'll see you later. As soon as number 53 was off the field, Ron, John Seaman started the clock. So, and on a timeout, it starts on a snap. So that's how we know it wasn't a charged timeout. But there is a timeout on the field right now. I'm just looking to see who called it. The Dawn team. For all your real estate needs, give Doug and Andrew a call at 760-337-8600. The Dawn family has been in the Valley since 1908 for business, residential, and farmland real estate. It's the Dawn team. IV Welding and Mechanical. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Mechanical Industrial Welding Contractor, serving the geothermal and non-industrial facilities in Imperial Valley. IBEL Welding is a proud sponsor of Valley Sports Network. Give Fred a call at 760-482-WELD. And we hope everybody's watching this game at Burgers and Beer, enjoying the time, having some great dinner. Say hello to Jaime for us as we get ready to action with Ron Rubio. Oh.
Carranza pops it up, and it takes a hit. Hits one of the Wildcats, and well, everything that needed to happen for Central has happened. The Wildcats fumbled on their exchange on the 3rd and 8. Pop-up kick by Carranza, recovered by the Spartans. The Spartans now inside the 40-yard line of the Wildcats. Let's say the 39-yard line. How deep do they have to get for a field goal? All they need is 3 with 1:58 remaining. 2 timeouts remaining. And here it is, man. It's all set up. So the mistakes, the failure to execute this is the recipe for success in football. Eliminate mistakes and execute. Those who do it better usually come out on top. Here we go. 1:58 remaining for the empty backfield. We haven't seen this. So 2 receivers on top to the left of Rodriguez, 3 to the right. Rodriguez with time, shoots it, complete to Garcia, Mackay and Washington and Gutierrez. Ball to the 35, 1:48 remaining, 2 timeouts remaining. No rush on the Spartans. They look seasoned in this time change right now. 1:39 remaining.
I do have to agree with you. They are seasoned when it comes to this.
It's something, you know they've been practicing this. It's 1:29 remaining.
As the fans start to get in it on both sides, Ron.
And here we go. You got defense on the side of the Wildcats. Here's Rodriguez. No pressure. Rodriguez throws the sideline. It's Sullivan. It's a touchdown. Camilo, touchdown Spartans. So it's with 1:13 remaining behind. It was a well thrown. He had plenty of time. Touchdown in the corner of the end zone. You go to the man you need. Everything, the dominoes fell the way they needed to for the Spartans. They took advantage of it, Will.
Ron, you don't even have to look. As we know, as other teams in the Valley know, you give the Central Spartans a minute 30 less, they will execute.
You give them 0.1 seconds.
Yeah.
That was last week in Imperial. So now, 1:13 remaining. Rodriguez sets for an important PAT. The hold by Garcia, and it's blocked. No good. So.
But a field goal won't make a difference.
No, it doesn't. There's 4-point deficit, but 1 point. So now the Wildcats with 1:13 remaining will turn the ball over, and their chances of pulling out this victory will lay on the hands and legs of Ethan Gutierrez. Can they pull it out?
Yeah, I mean, as I look, with 1:13 to go.
Somehow, somewhere, Sullivan got behind the coverage.
And with athletes like that, you talked about them earlier, Ron, that sometimes it just takes to throw the ball up there and great athletes just come down with it. You know what I mean, Ron? I mean, we've seen it plenty of times at this level right here. And one thing you have to know, Rodriguez can get the ball down there, and that's all the receivers ask for. Just get me the ball down there. I'll come down with it. But right now, the Wildcats are facing 1:13 to go, 4-point deficits. They're down by 4, 20-16. Central Spartans getting ready to kick them off. As you look on your screen, I mean, it's not over, people. It's not over. I'm glad you guys are still with us, because this is what I've said it before. This is what high school football is all about.
A minute ago, the game was in the hands of the Wildcats. And that's the beauty of high school football, or any type of football, any level. It's not over till it's over. Right now, the Spartans have persevered, put themselves in a position to be successful. They've done it, and now here's the kick. What do you do on this kick? You kick it deep. That's what Rodriguez does. And there is Damian Abarca to the 15, 20. He finds a wedge. Abarca is going to work his way to the 40.
And that's number 20.
I don't know who made the tackle, but Abarca gave the Wildcats a big start.
Yeah, he did, Ron.
And it's all the way up to the 44.
And listen, we talk about Rodriguez being able to get the ball down there, but don't take nothing away from Ethan Gutierrez. He can do the exact same thing with the Wildcats. 2 timeouts left, 1:04 to left in the clock up there.
1:04 remaining, and here it is, folks, the last drive for the Wildcats. Right now, a minute remaining. This time he shoots it out. It's incomplete, intended for Abarca. 2nd down and 10.
And this is where key players as Mekhi Washington has been all night on both sides of the field. They might have to even depend on him or Platt. You definitely got to use Platt somewhere. And if you're Central Spartans, you going to double team Platt?
Well, this is the deal in a big game. Your big players make big plays in big games. That's period.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one.
That's just how it rolls. So right now, the opportunity is in the hands of the Wildcats. There's time on the clock. It's not over till there's 0 seconds left on the clock. The Wildcats know that. The Spartans know that. We have doubles on both sides. Gutierrez, ball at the 45, 2nd and 10. Gutierrez looks. Gutierrez going to roll. He's being pressured. He steps up. He's being sacked by number 40, De La Rosa.
De La Rosa coming through again.
De La Rosa coming through the line, not allowing Gutierrez to get the ball off.
And we're going to have a timeout on the field, but De La Rosa coming through on the defensive side. Still, Brawley left with 1 timeout. It's going to be 3rd and long, Ron.
3rd and long.
Now, of course, 50 seconds left in regulation. We're not looking at a tie, that's for sure. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be a tie. I mean, I'm just proud to be in this situation right here, Ron, where we get to watch this type of high school.
Well,
not only that,
that,
we got to meet, Commissioner Joe Hines, Assistant Commissioner Todd Casson, I mean, great people. You could just tell by their personalities the type of people they are. Just good to be around.
And you need those kind of people running agencies like they have. So here we go. 50 seconds remaining.
Oh, my God.
Third down, and they say 18 on the scoreboard. The ball's at the 36. The ball is caught by Abarca. Abarca's going to get knocked out at the 48-yard line. Second down and 8. Fourth down for the Wildcats. So now here it is. Season on the line. League championship on the line. Bell championship on the line. 44.4 seconds remaining. This is it, folks. This is what you live for. Can the Wildcats pull it off, get a first down, keep the chains moving, or can the Spartans clinch it right here on this one play? Let's see what the boys can do. Here we go. Gutierrez, look, he steps up. He's gonna be sacked!
And guess what number it is? De La Rosa.
De La Rosa.
The Wildcats.
Barring a mistake by the Spartans offense, it could be said game point match.
Yeah.
It could be said.
Brawley Wildcats as they walk. Hey, listen, this was just one hell of a ball game, Ron. I mean, what can you say? This is what it's about. This is what we expected. That's why nobody can sit up here and tell us what they thought the outcome of this football game was going to be.
Nobody knew what the outcome was going to be, and that's why you play every play like it's the last play. Kudos to the Spartans not giving up on that last drive, and it's everything we thought, man. And we asked, the question was, would this game live up to the hype? I think it has, with a 20-16 lead by the Spartans. Victory formation, it's a done deal, it's over. Do they have to run another play?
No, they don't. They do not have to run another play.
33 seconds, 31 seconds.
We are going to make an announcement, Ron.
Let's go ahead.
We will not be choosing an offensive player, defensive player, as we are going to take back. There was just too many to choose from. We will be picking them tomorrow, and VSN will be making an announcement. This was just, Ron, it was just a great ball game.
It was a great ball game, and you know, the opportunities, you have to take opportunities of what's given to you. Yeah. And I think tonight the Wildcats let a few go away, and the Spartans cashed in when they had to. I mean, that's just how it goes, man.
Now, this is what you don't want to see. This is one of the things you don't want to see, because both of them are all going to go
and now
to
you
the
can
CIF.
get kicked out. You can't get kicked out of a game, can't you?
Yeah, you can, but you have to realize that you have, and this is, you never want to see this. The thing is that there's CIF games next week, Ron.
Yeah,
I know
that's
emotions are high. Emotions are high. They shouldn't even be out.
So it's a heartbreaking loss for the Wildcats, very heartbreaking loss, and a great victory for the Spartans, Central Spartans.
You know what, Ron? Congratulations to the Central Spartans.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they persevered, man. They persevered. They took it. Their backs were against the wall. They scored with under 2 minutes. And credit the Spartans for doing that. I mean, they did what they had to do. And this is the deal, Will, we talked about earlier, is you have to make plays when the plays are given to you. The Wildcats, they blew a few opportunities early on in the second half. And so that being said, you know, as we said, credit the Spartans and their perseverance and making the big plays when they had to. And who made the big play? The two big plays? Charlie Sullivan. A big run after the Wildcats scored. The big run, the first down, and then they respond. The way they responded after that big, the big play at the end of the game or towards the end of the game for Sullivan, Rodriguez to Sullivan. So the Wildcats now.
Well, we're going to wait and see. So, as that is said right now, VSN, Ron Rubio, Will Torrez, everybody upstairs up here, we'll be right back. We got a couple announcements. There's some things going on. So, we'll be right back after this.
Cada día, el Distrito de Irrigación de Imperial, su entidad pública, ha proporcionado servicio de energía confiable y económico a sus clientes en los valles de Imperial y Coachella. Comparado con otros proveedores de energía, los clientes residenciales, comerciales y gubernamentales del IID ahorran hasta un 50% en sus facturas. Es porque el IID está comprometido a más que solo proporcionar energía. El IID está comprometido con usted. IID, donde los clientes siempre son primero.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beer is in the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment. I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Day in and day out, your publicly owned Imperial Irrigation District proudly delivers low-cost, reliable energy service to its customers in the Imperial and Coachella Valleys. When compared to other power providers, IID's residential, commercial, and governmental customers all save up to 50% on their monthly energy bills. That's because IID is committed to more than just delivering power. IID is committed to you. IID, where customers always come first.
As emotions run high here at Warne Field, Brawley, California. Spectacular night. Congratulations to both teams, but Central Spartans come out on top, and well-deserved. You know, Ron, you said it earlier.
Yes.
You know, big players make big plays. You know, they get to take the bell. Everything's great. You know, adults step in. You know, make some calls out here. Everything's good. You know, Central Spartans get to celebrate. Hey, congratulations. And congratulations, you know what, the seniors here, they have next year, Ron. They got next week to look at for playoffs. So
right. So, you know, like we said, congratulations to the Spartans on to, you know, most likely a bye next week. The Wildcats, will they make the playoffs?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's tough to say, but I would say yes, Ron, yes. Because, look, now the worst that could happen, I think they're going to have a road game. That'd be the worst thing that could happen. But, the worst thing would happen is not make the playoff. But I do believe they would make the playoffs. But, yeah, what a game. But, you know, that takes nothing away. I don't want to take nothing away from what the game was itself. It was a hard-fought
game. Every play was going to count, Will. When you're playing a close game like that, every play counts, every second counts, and that's how this game ended. I mean, it ended that way. The Spartans, hey, man, with less than 2 minutes, their back was against the wall. It looked like the game was going to go the way of the Wildcats. It didn't on one instant play, but that's the beauty of football, man. If you're behind, one play gets you back in, one play wins you the game, and that's what ended up happening tonight, the big play, because the Spartans scored twice on plays of over 50 yards.
Yeah.
The Wildcats gave up two big scores, 2 touchdowns of over 50 yards, I would think.
So, listen, I just want to say thanks. I mean, the season continues for us next week, but I just want to say thanks. You know, special thanks to all our sponsors that make this happen. You know, personally, I'd like to actually thank them right now, and because without them, none of this happens. You know, Radco Incorporated, Lee Tire, Turner Trucking, Esquire Realty, Burgers and Beer, CR&R Incorporated, Ivy Welding and Mechanical, Marianne Valenzuela, Arctic Air Conditioning, Imperial Valley College, El Centro Police Department, the Dawn Team, Ojeda Industries, Havens Landscaping and Rock Supply, Intercare, Reach Medical Response Service, IID, Imperial Irrigation District, Letterman's and Bro, Top Notch Barber, visit Chris down there, Driscoll's, Town Pump, Hard Insurance, Johnny's Burritos, I mean, without you guys, none of this happens. None of this happens. So we will be announcing the players of the game tomorrow. Things got a little out of hand out in the field, so we'll let the emotions die down. We'll take care of that business. So from Joaquin Matus, Ron Rubio, Sarah Torres, Manny Barra down on the field, Jalen Fong, and of course Saul Peña. I'm Will Torres, VSN. Good night. Peace out. Support your local high school.